Hey everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 109. Oh, I've got feedback in my ears.
Oh no.
Okay, that's better. Hey everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 199, where we still don't know what we're doing as we stare
Some
down the
of us
barrel
do.
of...
Look, finally, I've got my pictures the right way around, so you can read anything that's on my shirts.
Oh, nice.
On
What's
stream,
Tech
that is.
49 then?
I don't know, it's something from Oblivion, the film, with Tom Cruise.
Oh, right, okay. Welcome to the show. Dave is back. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm much better, thank you.
Yeah, you feeling
Sound
better?
good. You sound good.
Yeah. Oh,
Back-
mate. I was
Back on the beers?
back on the beers.
That's
yeah,
the best
it's-
medicine after all.
Oh no, I was proper on night nurse. Night nurse is fantastic, but it doesn't.
I
make
had
you
to
very
have some of that the
coherent.
other week when I was not very well. I only had one dose though, and then I was fine again the day after.
Oh no, I had it for about 2 or 3 days.
What did you have?
Cough, cold, flu-y symptoms. Don't think it was COVID, but I didn't do a
Don't
test.
think. Well, could have been COVID.
Could have been COVID, but I was in bed for 2 days.
Oof, wow.
Yeah.
If it's put you on your back for 2 days, it's pretty full on.
Yep. So, but yeah, I was off work from Wednesday to Friday, and then I was back on Monday.
Plenty of
Still-
Steam Deck time then, I assume.
Well, I tried to, but between all the night nurse and just feeling absolute rotten, it was just watching crap on
I only
telly.
managed
yeah, that's-
70 hours.
Like, nah, it was alright. I was not, I had stuff to watch on telly, so it's not too bad.
Oh.
So
I mean, usually when you're if you're that ill that it puts you on your back, the last thing you want to do is game. Usually, you're just like
I did take
just-
it up. I did take it up. I was like, oh, I'll just have a go. Literally played it for about 5 minutes, and it was
the
like,
enthusiasm just isn't there,
it's
is
like,
it?
no, like, I
No.
couldn't get comfortable. There's no good sitting position. You can't play it lying down. It was like, nah. So
Well, thank you for coming back.
Should we talk about Steam Decks for a minute?
Sure. Did you buy one yet?
No, they're not announced. You can't buy the new ones yet. They've announced some new ones.
The
Which-
OLED.
And all the old ones have gone down in price while stocks last. Apart from one of them they're keeping. The 256 gigabyte they're keeping as the base model.
okay.
But they've brought two new models. The 512 gig is now going to have an OLED screen, and it's got the new, what do they call it? Where they put chips on a smaller processor, 6 nanometer process instead of 7 nanometers, whatever. So
System
it's
on a
better,
chip.
yeah, better for your heat and your power and all that stuff. So the battery lasts longer and all that stuff. And there's a 1 terabyte version, which is the same price, I believe, as the old 512 gig, 650. Is that the old right? Is that right? The old price one. So
Perhaps.
pretty decent. I do like me an OLED screen. as
I
you know.
can't find any justification to buy one. I think about it, and I know
Well, you
as
won't
soon
play
as I
Hunt
buy
on it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's the screen. It's the small screen. Those days are done.
Oh,
for
the
me.
screen's
I
a bit
can't
bigger
do-
as well now. 7.4
guess.
inch screen.
I need a 40-inch screen.
Do you? You don't play Hunt on a 40-inch screen, that's for sure.
I do not.
Yeah. So
Anything
anyway,
else on the Steam Deck?
no. They're just, I think it's the 16th they're available to purchase.
No. All
So
right.
you can't actually.
You
order
heard
them
it
in,
here.
so-
Not quite first, folks.
Probably not first because it got slightly early. They broke their own embargo, I believe. Steam
I did.
slightly released the news a bit early, and then all the outlets were like, ha, yes. And then literally about 10 minutes later, all of the reviews came out because they would
People have them in their hands
everyone had
already,
had
right?
them, yeah. So all the reviews are out there already, like Digital Foundry, everyone, Polygon or whoever, Wirecutter and all that shit. Everyone, they've all
All right.
Giant Bomb, and they've all had them, and no one said anything else. But yes, within like a minute of the embargo being broken, then all of the reviews came out, and it sounds like it's very good. So,
All
but
right.
maybe the ROG Ally is still the most powerful of all the new handhelds.
Very expensive, that though, isn't it?
I don't know if it is really.
If you get the,
You have to get the
I think
extreme
it
one.
is. And
I
I
don't
think
think
if you
it's
get
only-
the
it's only
add-on
$700
graphics thing
quid.
or whatever.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
don't need the add-on graphics thing. That's to not play it as a handheld. That's to play it as an actual PC.
Hmm.
Got a
Oh,
few
well.
people in the
Oh.
chat tonight.
I've
Oh, yeah?
I play mine on a dock.
Yeah, but your
Um,
dock doesn't actually increase the graphics and all that
No.
shit, does it? It's just literally allows it to be played on a TV. The ROG Ally, if you can get like an external graphics chip, basically,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
which makes
Okay.
it into like a PC. So a pretty
I
decent one
noticed
as well.
the I think the Steam Deck runs at 800p. Is it? The screen is
Yeah.
800p.
It's 1280 by 800, I think. So it's it's like not a 16:10 ratio rather than 16:9. So
Yeah. All right. Fascinating stuff.
there you go.
All right. You want to hit us with some football?
Oh, should we talk about some football? Where's my little notepad?
We should, because it's all
Right.
anyone cares about right these
Well,
days.
yeah, it's one of those weeks last week. I think you could say that. There were some big surprises last week in the Premier League, so we should probably start with the biggest shock of the weekend. Man United actually won against Fulham. And other winners were Brentford, Crystal Palace, Man City, Sheffield United, Newcastle, Notts Forest, and Chelsea. Surprisingly,
Oh, on the
against Spurs.
Chelsea.
Bit of a rip roaring game on Monday night. And there were draws between Everton and Brighton. And what's this? Luton drew with Liverpool. There we go.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
mate, absolutely gutted for you at the end. But
Well,
still, a point
yeah.
against Liverpool is good.
Yeah, exactly. We'd more than have taken a point before the game, but yeah, to like have the equaliser scored by Liverpool in the
By Luis
95th
Diaz of all
minute.
people, which
Yeah,
was
exactly.
pretty amazing.
It was
So-
written, wasn't it? Written in the stars. Almost.
Yeah, you can't not have that, right?
And
I
his
mean,
dad's been released now, like
has
into
he?
the last 24 hours. I can't remember when
Oh,
exactly,
good.
but yeah,
Right.
so his mum and dad both been released. Obviously, I don't know if anyone didn't know that his parents got abducted in Colombia, and I don't know, we might have talked about it. I can't remember. But yeah, they've both been released now. There was a lot of pressure, I believe, on the organisation, shall we call them? I don't know who'd
Oh,
taken
yeah,
them
for sure.
in Colombia.
The whole world was looking
Yeah.
on this one.
Yeah, but
so-
also like in Colombia, it didn't go down too well. I don't think he's a
Right.
national hero, effectively, isn't he? Because plays football for the national team, obviously. So yeah, don't think that went down too well. But, yeah, they're both free now, or as free as you can be over there, I guess. I don't really know much about Colombia, to be honest, but it's definitely got a checkered past, shall we say? Yeah.
I think it says a checkered present as well.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really know. I've not been keeping up. So player-wise, there were big points for Bruno Fernandes of Man United, scored in the injury time winner. Nathan Collins of Brentford, Tyrick Mitchell of Palace, which was one of the ones I should have put in, obviously, last week, but didn't. Mikalenko of Everton, random. Jeremy Doku, Man City, he had a stonker of a week. He's the player of the week. I was working at 22 points, 4 assists with 1 goal as well, and obviously 3 bonus points. He's the 7th player or something to get 4 assists or something in the Premier League. I don't know, something stupid. In one game, obviously.
Right.
Cameron Archer scored for Sheffield United. They got their first win of the season. Joe Linton, Jamal Lascelles, and Kieran Trippier of Newcastle all got 3 bonus points in their game against Arsenal. Nothing controversial about that game or worth talking about, obviously. Toffolo of Nottingham Forest got the bonus points for them, and Issa Kabore of Luton Town got 3 bonus in our game against Liverpool. Oh, and Alisson Becker both got 3 bonus points in our game. And Nicholas Jackson, the much maligned Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea, got his hat-trick against Spurs after they went down to 9 men and basically inched everyone else who hadn't been sent off. So yeah, that was the players and the games. In terms of points in the league, the top scorers in the league, right? Certainly some names you may not have heard before, for sure. The average score for last week was 32, which is, I think, it's close to being a record low points average in the entire history of FPL. Because, as you may have heard from the 3 bonus points players, all the players that everyone picks, no one scored any fucking points. So Angelo and Anthony Clark both scored 45 points.
2 of my buddies there, Banji and Anthony.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dekte, David Kinzet, and Tim Kelly got 40 points. So there's 5 people with like the top 2 scores. So I'm not reading anyone else. We have got to give a special shout out to Luciano, who ended the week
No.
I think he may have forgotten to press use wildcard because I checked through and he hasn't used his wildcard before. So I'm like, he's obviously made a load of transfers, and I assume he was supposed to click play wildcard. Maybe didn't really know what he was doing.
Yeah. I'll give Luch credit.
I don't think
I'll
even I got minus points, and
I've never seen that. I mean, there's two things here to say. First, I'll give Luch credit for new as far as I can work out, new player, made a load of transfers, didn't know that he needed to play the wild card. Doesn't fully, I don't think fully understands getting to grips with it all. So fair, whatever. It's all good. That being said,
it was funny.
I've never ever seen that before. That someone over the course from 1 week to the next getting net negative points.
Well, what's the best thing
is astounding
about this is like it didn't even have all the players that got sent off for Spurs, so it didn't have minus points from any player. But the best thing possibly about this whole business is that he triple captained Erling Haaland on the week he got subbed at half time. I've got 1 point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
sorry, Luch.
That's a doozy. Sorry.
That's the way
Luch,
the cookie crumbles.
You've gone down in history on this one. You're infamous, sir. Infamous, and we respect you for it.
Indeed.
So
it did make me chuckle on the week. I thought I was like, I'm having such a bad week, and then I looked through the league and went, yes, someone's having an absolute bad one. So there we go. So
what did he minus 24? So he had minus 24 points in substitute penalties.
So we made 7 or 8 transfers.
And he still only scored 18 for the week, so he's the net minus 6.
Yeah, bummer.
Unbelievable.
Bummer.
Amazing.
Sorry, it's not that funny.
Sorry, Luke, it's not funny at all.
So that leaves us with a top 3 in the league. Oh, my boy Adam is still clinging on. He got 31 points. It wasn't awful. It wasn't great, obviously.
Is he prepared for his reign at the top or does he think he can hold it?
Well, we'll see. He was looking at his transfers half an hour ago.
It's tough up there.
I wouldn't know. I only got there in the last couple of weeks.
I mean,
I got there in the last couple of weeks of the season, so
I would say you're in touching distance of me. I'm sitting there breathing down your neck.
Yeah.
And
the last few weeks I've gone down like 600 or 700.
Oh, I know. I've been watching. And I'm concentrating on you. And then suddenly this week I had to look behind me and like I'm in 5th. And from at least down to 11th, I mean, it's joint 10th at the moment with Christian and your missus, Lou. But they're all within 12 points of me. So, I mean, it's brutal.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close at the top this year. Good top half of the league is all competitive, so that's good.
Yeah, very impressive. And then I'm only 5th in this league, and I'm in 2 other leagues, and I'm top in them. So
this is a strong league. Is that what you're saying?
This is a really strong league up the top here right now. Now and and I implore people not to sort of sit there further down and go and get mired down in that, because the personal battles, you should be setting yourself sights, right? Where how can I get the person above me?
Well, where am I? I'm 4th then. And what's your rank in over rank? I was 700 odd thousand, I think. So.
I'm just 900,000.
Yeah, so the top 5 are all in the top million of the whole game, so that's not bad. That's in line, really. It's about there's over 10 million people playing, so we're in the top 5 of us in the top 10%. That's not bad game.
I think if you go down to your wife, I mean, she's 1.4 million out 1,400,000. So that's just shy of the top 10%, right?
And if you have a good week, you never know. So all of a sudden, all those ones that are at the top early in the whole game are like the first 3 or 4 weeks they were just playing every chip. All of the ones at the top had all played all their chips, and that's how they were just getting lucky with all the chips they played, and they were all top. But now it's starting to, those ones are probably dropping now, and the real players are sort of rising to the top, as it were. So back to the top 3. We didn't actually get through them. Lewis is still second, got 32 points last week, 670, and Nathan third, 668 on 30 points for the week. Head to head. Right. Dave, do you know? Have you looked?
Yeah, I've looked. Yeah.
Okay. Right,
Somebody brought my fantastic 5-game winning streak to a abrupt halt, and he's in the room here with us.
Yes. We had a couple of really close games. I'll get to them in a moment. But Adam beat Luciano. The aforementioned Luciano, surprisingly. Chris Jackson beat me. Chipper Spice beat my wife. Phil Taylor beat Elusive Man. Andy Cox beat Christian by a single point. The Average beat
I think
Gary.
Andy was very pleased with that result.
Yeah, I bet. Dave beat Fraser, obviously said, and Lewis beat Mike by a single point.
Oh,
well.
battle of the.
Yeah.
What rhymes with B for the people in the States?
What rhymes with B?
Bitch, I don't know.
Well, it starts with
Battle
B.
of the Sun. I was going to make like they said, Battle of the somethings, right? They're both in the States, right? What could it be?
I don't know. I don't know what.
Battle of the Brothers.
Okay.
Lewis is always using brother, right? Battle of the Brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. How about that?
So we're left with the top 3 in the head-to-head league. With my son is still atop 22 points. Lewis, Mike, and my wife Lou are all on 21 points. My wife. So yeah, big things. Obviously, all the players that scored loads of points last week. Basically, no one's got because they're all low-owned players. The ones that actually scored points last week. So all of the high-owned players did shit basically, and loads of them are either suspended or got fucking injured. We've got lots of yellows and reds in our teams potentially if you've got the high-owned players. James Madison and Mickey van der Ven of Spurs both ruled out until the new year. Today.
I hovered over that Madison buy for so many weeks and I never pulled the trigger.
He was good while you had him, and he was like, this is the first time he's not really scored any points this week, and he went off injured, and yeah, he's out till the new year now. So I can afford for him to drop once in price before I transfer him out, because of the way that the price works. Like he's basically like halfway between the next price rise for me. So if he drops once, I won't lose if I sell him again. So yeah, there was like Romero, obviously for Spurs, got sent off, straight red card, 3 match ban. Udogie of Spurs also got sent off, but that was 2 yellow cards, so I think he's only missing 1 game. Could have been sent off beforehand. It was a right mad game on Monday night. I don't think I've seen a game like it. It was just bonkers.
I've never been so. I was reading it on the BBC ticker. I've never been so glued to everything that was coming through.
I was watching it, and it was like the first half felt like it went on for an hour. I think it was close to an hour before it actually finished, and I had to go to work before 10. So I didn't get to see the end of the game. I basically missed 3 goals. One before I left. When I left, it was 1-1 still, and when I got to within 10 minutes of being at work, it finished 4-1 to Chelsea. So yeah, and Nicholas Jackson scored all his 3 goals pretty much in injury time. I think like Spurs down to 9. Oh, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, it was a good watch. But yeah, Luton Liverpool
was Chelsea beat the Spurs 4-1.
No, not really. Luton Liverpool was an exciting game for me. I was like, because obviously my boy supports Liverpool. He was sat there on the sofa, and obviously the way the game went, they probably should have been 3 or 4-0 up. But you know, Darwin Núñez, I've cursed him. I've cursed another one. I've got a fucking transfer a Man United player in this week. Take a -4 and bring in him Bruno Fernandes or something this week, so that he doesn't score any points and Man United lose to Luton. Because it's going well so far. My tactics of going against Luton was like either Luton do well and I'm happy, or my players do well in FPL. So
it's like playing a tenor on black and a tenor on red.
Yeah, sort of. But yeah, so I massively cheered obviously when we went 1-0 up and went over to my son and give him a good shake of the shoulders and yelled in his face. Because that's what he does. That's what he does.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So, and then obviously they equalised late, and I was like, bollocks. And so he was quite respectful for about 30 seconds, and then he just went and fucking mental back. Like, yeah, all right, we're only Luton, it's whatever. I'll take a point. But that was fun. It was fun.
Good on the Lutes.
Lots of surgery to do probably in teams. I've done Dan Burn got injured for Newcastle, so he was one of my players. I took him. I was like, oh, he went straight away because I was like, I can't afford to lose any value on him. I couldn't afford for him to go down in price, so I changed it straight away. But I'd missed the one. The one I wanted to put in was Tyreek Mitchell, and he'd already gone up. One time I looked, I was like, oh, bugger. So they went. I was a like for like 4.6 to 4.6. But there we go. I'm not going to. I don't think I'm going to do the -4 this week. I'm going to hold my transfer to get rid of Madison after the deadline. But I don't know who I'm going to put in a minute. Or I might do a -4 and get someone in for this week. Depends. I'm going to have a look at the fixtures because Arsenal got Burnley at Arsenal, and I'm like, oh, there could be a few goals there. I've only got Saka, and he might not play. So maybe I'll bring Martinelli in or something. Not bringing Havertz in, or maybe I will bring Havertz in. No, I'm not going to bring Havertz in.
No, don't bring him
in. Because he'll probably go and score a hat trick tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I don't even know when it is. But yeah, Villa at home to Forest. No, Villa at home. Who have they got? I can't remember. They've got an all right. Is it Forest? They've got an all right looking fixture at home. Haaland's away to Chelsea, but Chelsea are horrendous at home apparently. So
yeah, I think I've left Haaland as captain.
Yeah, he's my captain at the moment in case I don't make any changes. But
I don't care who Man City go visit.
Yeah,
I'll have Haaland captain all day, every day right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I'm not going to try and talk. I'm not talking myself out of it.
What's that, Dave?
It's too much of a gamble not to.
Well, it depends.
Exactly.
Depends who they're playing. Like when they play Arsenal or something like that, and like that's the weeks to maybe not do it. But I don't know.
Well,
We'll see indeed.
All right.
That's the football. And I didn't put the league tables up yet again on the fucking street. Fucking getting rubbish at this.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, all right. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate it. Let's move on to listener stuff. Chill Robots says, show question. Now that Miyamoto has announced the live-action Zelda movie, who would you cast as Link? Cheers.
It's got to be Chalamet, isn't it?
Chalamet? Oh, is he the guy from Dune?
Yeah. Could have
Not a bad shout.
He looks young,
a little bit tall and lanky, though.
What's Link then? He's not exactly like... He's not Arnie, is he? Not exactly Arnie in his prime.
No, but he's not lanky either.
Don't know. Got to look young, I guess.
Don't know.
What is the deal with Link? Is he a boy or is he a man?
Yeah, he's a boy.
Oh, so he's got to be a boy then. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know any boy actors really.
They should change it up, shouldn't they? They should reboot it, and he should be like an old. Clint Eastwood did there, old grizzled.
Clint Eastwood. He can barely walk these days, probably. Can he? Is he on your list, Clint Eastwood?
I don't know.
He must be getting on a bit now. Crikey.
Anybody else for the spot? No.
Can't think of anyone.
All right.
We're going with Chalamet.
I've been listening with. Oh my god! I've been listening to the Veteran Gamers and their woke thing they've got going on over there.
I suppose the obvious one is Elliot Page.
That's right. I was just about to say, like, surely Link should be cast as, I don't know, like.
Well, I did have that one as
something different,
one earlier,
right?
but I was like, no, I'm not going to say that. I'll let Dave do it. I was like, yeah, because everyone, like, the joke there being that everyone thinks that. Was it? Well, no, everyone thinks like Link is Zelda, and Zelda's obviously a girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, because the game's called The Legend of Zelda, but you play as Link. A lot of
Thank you, Neil. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Neil.
Yes, because we're on a gaming podcast, but no one
because
knows
none of us
video
knew
games.
that.
Well, I'm sure the quiz will prove us wrong. Well, in a little while.
Oh yeah, fair enough. All right, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. Master Blackthorn says, "Good evening, chaps. Hope you're all well. Sorry, I'm a bit behind on shows and just listened to the one where Fraser talks about his new PC. A couple of things. That B550 MSI Tomahawk I had in my PC until recently. Oh, I had in my PC until recently, and I believe the top SSD slot is Gen 4 and the lower one is Gen 3. No need to worry about PCIe lanes to the CPU or anything. So totally separate lanes. Okay, that's good.
Just don't buy two PCI or whatever, 4 drives.
Just don't buy what?
2 PCIe 4 Gen 4 drives.
Okay. I had a Gen 4 and a Gen 3 in mine. And in my current B650 Tomahawk, all fine, no problems. Okay, cool. I might look at that at some point. I think I'm gonna have to buy another one. I actually put an M.2 drive in my son's PC this week, but I never checked that. Do I have to worry about? I mean, I just bought it and put it in, and it worked.
It's just whether you're getting the maximum speeds, basically. It'll work. It's just
Whether
whether
you're
you're
getting your money's worth.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's his. Is he listening? It's his PC. We don't have to dig that deep.
It just depends. If you bought an expensive PCIe 4 drive, you might as well want to take that back if it's not getting the speed.
Yeah, but it'll be carried forward at some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like we put that in and took out the 125 gig SSD that he was using for his C drive.
What size?
125 gig.
Wow. Does Windows even fit on that?
And then he had a 500 gig SSD where he was keeping all his
games and stuff.
Games that need to be on an SSD. Yeah. And then he had a traditional spinny disk.
I've still got spinny disks in mine.
Yeah.
But they just record video, like when I record in video usually, which is probably not the best for recording.
Who knows, right? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so we got all that back up and running for him. It was, I think, we put a 1 terabyte M.2 in there instead. Mm-hmm. So
I was looking at 4 terabytes now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4 terabyte.
The 4 terabyte ones seem to be the ones that are coming down in price now.
Oh yeah,
because they were always it started where say the 512 gig was like 100 quid, and the 1 terabyte was like 250. So it would be cheaper to buy 2 small ones, and it seems to be like that. But now, so it's been like up until recently, the 1 terabytes was cheaper than the 2 terabyte, but now it feels like the 2 terabytes is like the sweet spot now, price wise, where they're coming under the price of 2 1 terabytes. But now I've seen there's a few deals coming on 4 terabytes. They're still fucking like a lot of money, 200 odd quid for 4 terabytes. But that's like 4 terabytes though. That's a lot of space. That's like, I ain't feeling that.
Not quickly anyway.
No. I could have a lot of games off of 4 terabytes.
Yeah. He also says, can I recommend that even though the 5600X is a great budget CPU, I would keep an eye on the 5800X3D prices, as it's the fastest gaming CPU on AM4, and you would see quite big gains in new CPU heavy games for the foreseeable, especially as you're gaming at 1080p, which is more CPU than GPU reliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you about the 5800X3D, I believe.
Yeah, he's got here. I bought one for 340 quid. So I've probably, it's just way outside the budget, but fortune's turn or whatever like that, or.
So there might be clearance deals on those, obviously.
Yeah, I would probably, I would probably keep an eye on it. Maybe in a year's time, do a little bit of hunting if I had an inkling, just to top the old CPU up. But I think I said that on the last build too, and never did it.
It's that time of year. Have you been looking at any deals, any purchases you might be lining up? A few deals.
Mate, I'm battening down the hatches. Christmas is coming.
Yeah, well, that's why you buy things. Oh, right.
My kids have just had birthdays.
Buying stuff for Christmas.
No, I'm broke.
It's time for
I tell you this every week, and you tell me I'm not.
You're not, though, are you?
I am. He says I bought one for £340 in the sale earlier in the year. Highly recommend it. And the CPU will see you through.
On my list, to be honest.
CPU.
Yeah, I'm on a 3800X.
38. I'm on a 3700X, I think. Yeah. So I could go to the 5800X 3D. That's the max I can get without changing everything.
Right.
And even that's like, I've got to take off the giant air cooler and all that, fucking put new paste and all that shit. I'm like,
yeah, he says here, highly recommend it, and the CPU will see you through a couple of GPU upgrades, although you would need a better cooler for it. He's got £60. He paid for an AK620 Deep Cool, whatever that might look like.
I think they're nice looking coolers.
Yeah. And it's a great air cooler for the price. Other similar ones are available. Ta-ta for now.
What's mine?
says-
Right, okay. I'm just looking. My 3800 is the Gen 2, so I actually don't have a lot of wiggle room for my
3800.
3800.
No, you should be on AM4 then. So you should be able to get up to 5800X. It depends on your motherboard, I guess. You might have to do a
Yeah.
BIOS update to your motherboard before you put in a 58 series.
That's almost guaranteed, right?
Maybe.
Do
Yeah.
that before you start stripping it down.
Yes.
Pro tip. Master Blackthorn, thank you very much. I really appreciate all that. That's awesome. It's funny. It's one of those things like just on the lead up to building the PCs, I read everything as much as possible and I bring myself totally up to speed. And then once the PC's built, I don't read anything. So I've just, if you'd asked me a few weeks ago, I'd know exactly all about those processors and stuff. I've all forgotten it now. But it's good to be reminded. So that's cool. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Lord says, okay, boys, another exciting quiz this week. We are back to gaming. Let's see how you do.
Ooh.
All right. In 2014, Google partnered with Game Freak and Nintendo as part of an April Fool's Day prank to create a new version of Google Maps populated by small creatures. This prank inspired what massively popular 2016 video game?
Pokemon Go.
Is that really 2016? Because that's the answer I had. I was like, is that 2016? 7 years.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That's already 7 years old.
I can believe that. I'll go with that too.
Because it went mad in the pandemic, didn't it? Everyone was out. That was because you were allowed to go walking in this country, at least. So everyone was playing Pokemon Go
All right. Yeah.
in 2020.
Yeah.
I
I
was like-
remember playing that at my old company before we moved offices, and I remember walking around the building.
What's
Town
that?
centre.
What's that noise? I could hear some weird music in the background.
I can.
It's like,
I
what is that?
I got a game playing in the background.
What? Are you playing games while you're podcasting?
It's a
Who
game
does
in the
that?
background.
Oh no, he's turned into who is it? Chinny or Duke?
Mike
One of those
Chin.
guys does that.
Mike
Chin.
Oh, does
Chin
he do
does
that?
it. Yeah. Might have done it before. Might have done it. Couldn't comment.
Okay, we all going with Pokemon Go then?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Question number 2. The word Tetris is a combination of the Greek word tetra, meaning 4, and what 6-letter sport that was a favorite of game creator Alexei Pajitnov?
Right. Well, there's pretty big clues there. It's got to be tennis, surely. It's a 6-letter
Okay.
sport that ends in is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless obviously it's something else in Russian. I don't know.
I'll go with that.
What's the weird Russian oiled wrestling game?
I don't know, Dave.
I beg your pardon, Dave.
Yeah. That's the.
Is that especially special community on Twitch that you've been watching?
Yeah.
Are we playing as a team? I think tonight we're all going with tennis.
It depends if we all go for the same one on Pac-Man. I think.
Yeah. Well,
In the
I've got an answer
original,
for this one,
okay.
but I don't know if it's
The
right.
third one, in the original 1980 edition of Pac-Man, the 4 ghosts were named Blinky, Inky, Pinky, and what C name? I know this one. And what C name that doesn't rhyme with the rest?
See, I don't know this one, but I think it's Clive.
Clive?
Clive
No.
or Clint.
I think it's
Close.
Clyde. Clyde with a
Clyde,
D.
yeah. Clyde with a D, for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Right.
I was oh man, did I love Pac-Man as a kid. I bought into everything. I had the Pac-Man board game, Pac-Man at home.
Pac-Man board game.
Yeah, exactly. And you should look like that. It was dreadful. But you're not old enough probably not old enough to remember. So, but
What? Pac-Man?
No, you're old enough to remember Pac-Man, but you are probably not old enough to really appreciate. Like there was like 1 year, Pac-Man was it, man. Like it was everywhere in everything on
You're not that much
everybody's
older
lunch.
than me.
No, but like this was like 19. How old were you in 1980?
5.
Right. So you don't remember it like I was 9, right? I can remember it. I just really do remember it, right? I'm
Right.
not saying you don't remember it. Maybe you
I
do.
don't remember
but
that.
like,
I was still
but
listening to
Pac-Man
Blondie,
was,
probably.
you know, the cartoons were on the TV. They were on every cereal box. Maybe it wasn't, but I was in North America too, so maybe it was
Right.
slightly different. But
Maybe.
it was fucking huge.
I
man.
just remember Ready Break. commercials, like glowing children.
You guys were still getting your bread delivered down cobbled streets by some
Yeah,
guy on a
some
fucking
Only
bicycle.
wholemeal bread. I'll have you
Us
know.
in the new world, we were all playing Pac-Man. Can you imagine? That's when I moved back to England. I was like, oh my God, I've gone back in time.
Shut up.
All right.
You want to come in now?
Oh,
It's like the
I like coming back.
1970s all
I
over
like
again.
coming back. No, I like coming back on a holiday. It's good. It's good fun.
Summers that never end.
All right, let's have some answers.
Let's see if I can find the right place on the Discord. Right, so in 2014, Google part of blah, 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 blah. The game that inspired a massive popular game in 2016 was Pokemon Go. We were right. Fucking hell, we're doing okay. 1 out of 1. The word Tetris is a combination of the Greek word tetra, meaning four, and what 6-letter sport? Tennis.
Oh, exciting stuff.
And in the original 1980 edition of Pac-Man, the fourth ghost, not rhyming with Inky, is Clyde.
Yeah.
And also
Nice.
featured one of the best lines in the film, Right Turn Clyde, which was, what the fuck film was that? I remember watching that.
That was Every Which Way But Loose.
Loose, yeah, and the other one.
Any Which Way You Can.
Yeah. Was there 3?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he was a orangutan, was he? Clyde?
Yes. Yeah.
And he used to punch people when he was
That's
on
right.
command.
Right turn, Clyde, and he'd punch people outside the window, right? And he'd ran over all the bikers' bikes. That's fucking brilliant movies.
It's probably not acceptable somewhere these days, I guess.
Oh, I guarantee you that there'll be something in there that's not. I think just having an orangutan punching people is probably
Slightly frowned upon nowadays.
It's only slightly though.
Okay, thanks very much, Lord. Thank you, everyone who
Hooray!
sent in.
Hey, it's the first time ever we've got all 3.
Yeah, we've done well. Done well. We know our gaming, you see.
Yeah.
Let's move on to what we've been doing. Neil and I have nothing in here. I don't think I have anything to report.
I've renewed
I
my
just
Apple
talked about the
TV subscription. I can tell you that.
Oh, I have cancelled my Apple TV subscription.
What's
Did
the
you not
wrong
hear about
time to
it?
cancel?
It is not. Did you see the price rise? 33% price rise.
Okay, but this is when all the good stuff starts hitting. That's why they put the price up now.
And I just got an email today. Disney Plus is going up, and they weren't even in the email tell me how much I was paying
You can
already.
get Disney
so it's got to
with
be
ads
bad.
though, and pay less.
Ugh.
Hmm.
I'm just going to, I just make
You're
sure
just
they're
going to
not
pirate it
renewing.
now instead.
No, I'm just going to make sure they don't renew. And if it comes to an evening or there's something my wife and I want to watch, I'll pay for the month, right? But I'm not having it all ticking over and just getting fucked on these bills.
I waited for my Apple TV subscription to lapse before I used a 3-month voucher that I had.
Nice.
That I didn't pay for, obviously. I was like, I've had this email from Curry's in my inbox for ages going. Every time I try and use it, it's like, no, you can't use this. I was like, oh. But it says new or renewing, as in you have to let your subscription lapse before.
Right.
It says existing, but it's not existing. You have to have previous subscriber. So, yeah.
Got it. So what's on the agenda? Are you going to finish Schmigadoon?
No, probably not. I'll be watching. I've got to watch Foundation Series 2.
Yes.
And I've got to watch. We'll be watching the new season of Slow Horses when that hits in just over a week. And I need to probably. I think I might go back and watch For All Mankind. I got so far. I was into season 2 of that, and that was good. Started getting a bit crazy.
I was looking at that. Maybe I should start watching.
Yeah, it started getting a bit mental.
There's another one coming soon.
Yeah, it's the one that came out today, I think.
We're getting so into this space stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes a bit mad because it starts off like the race to the moon between the Russians and the Americans.
Yes.
Or were they Soviets then? I think they were Soviets technically. I don't remember.
USSR. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a big deal, and then it sort of starts in reality, and then quickly divulges into like the realms of fantasy. Like
right.
All right.
So yeah, it's quite
I'll
good.
get on that. You weren't here last week, but I finished Foundation. Dave.
I heard you talking about it, and
But if Neil's going to watch it,
then we can't
have a big. No. Well, then we'll have a big powwow about it later.
Is that when I go for a wee?
No. When you finished it.
All right.
Yeah.
So hurry up.
It's one that we really need to talk about because it
Can't talk about it on the podcast, though, surely. So
Yeah.
it'll be spoilers for people.
It's our podcast.
We'll
we can do whatever the
preference
fuck
it.
we
All
want,
right,
mate.
fine, whatever. What happened to changing the name and all that bollocks? Are we doing that or not?
Oh, I'm so busy. I haven't got around to any of that.
You've not even got headspace to think about it.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I think we should change to @Seal Gaming. The
At
Seal
Seal
Gaming
Game.
podcast. I know it's a minor change.
Wow.
I don't even know. Whatever. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
racking my
my-
brains for days thinking of good ones.
Oh no, who had somebody did have a good suggestion for a title.
Mm.
What was it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That
Yeah, it was you, wasn't it?
It was Neil.
I can't
And what
even
we're doing
remember what it
about
was. I mean,
episode
boomsticks,
200?
wasn't it?
Huh?
Come on, headshots and
No,
boomsticks.
hot drops and boomsticks.
Oh, hot drops and boomsticks.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if we were doing it all
I
over
also
again,
said we probably would never do anything. We probably
Yeah.
wouldn't get off our arts and change anything.
so you're just the Seal Gaming podcast.
Well, it ain't gonna happen. We're not changing shit, are we?
Well, it means that there's less work to do on changing all of the logos for sure.
Oh
I can
my
quite easily
God.
add gaming into the Seal podcast logo without fucking changing every fucking piece of like recognizable media we have. But yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? What are we doing next
Downloaded
week?
a font and
We're
everything.
not even going to do. Well, we end up doing anything special next week.
I don't
We
know.
have
You was
phone
on
in.
about getting people to call in, so I don't know if you want to do that or not.
Come on, man! Don't put it all on my plate.
Well, you're the one who's like, well, we finished work several hours ago, like multiple days ago for me. But you're the one who comes hot from work, so
We might have to have some emergency discussions this week.
right.
Do we
Yeah.
want to have people phone in?
Do people even want to fucking do that? I don't know.
I don't know. Does anyone really care? If you want to come on the show, just let us know. Give us a shout. We might sort something out this week on phone.
Well, we might just not bother. Maybe episode 201.
No, honestly, right now I'm in my busy period of work, so I'm like my head
About
is
time,
all
eh?
over the place. Yep. Well, it is about time because it's the season. So
What are you doing now? I thought you were in AC. Surely the summer is the season for AC.
heating, man. There's no AC up here. Well, there is AC up here, of course, but it's not like heating's the heating first.
Yeah, my heating's been on.
Nice,
It's nice and tasty.
Heating
That's why I'm
works.
wearing a t-shirt because my room's really hot.
brilliant.
So,
Why did the planet catch fire, Dad? Because I'm lounging it in my underwear.
I've got trousers
my
on. I'll have you
mansion.
know.
I'm the only
I
one
have
in my
got underwear on
mansion.
underneath my trousers, but I'm not walking around in my pants all day long.
All right, I hadn't expected to talk about what we're doing, so let's move on. Anything else, Neil?
Are you wearing pants?
I am wearing pants.
Are you
I
wearing
nearly put long
underpants?
johns on today.
Do you call your trousers pants in Canada like the Americans do?
I don't. No.
Is that
Pants
your
to me
Britishness?
is
though?
underwear. Pants are underwear to me.
But
Yeah, that's the
everyone else in
Britishness,
Canada is pants or trousers.
yeah. They wouldn't really say trousers. Pants, yeah.
Do you have because like there's another word that we use for something else that's a part of the body potentially, depending on what sex you are, that Americans refer to a fanny as a bum, basically. That's
Yeah,
definitely not a
fanny's
fanny in this
like-
country.
No, it's the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, front bum.
Right.
So what's the deal with pants being trousers?
I don't know. Where are you going? Have you been
I
taking
don't know.
drugs?
No, I'm on my third beer. That's all. I just don't understand why would you call trousers pants in the first place? Pants
I
are
don't know.
pants.
It's not me. I don't. I just told you I don't
But
anyway.
they call
If you're
pants
just-
shorts, don't they? Like, what's that all about? The shorts are fucking. What do they call shorts? I'm fucking confused.
It's not as though we don't have American listeners that you can quiz on this. I'm not.
Yeah, that's
see,
true. That's true.
It's not.
Well, you're the closest thing that's right here, right now, to an American.
Yeah, but we're Commonwealth over here, mate. We're different. We're different.
Fucking no one cares about that anymore.
Same king and queen.
All right. I'm assuming Neil's
just
done.
gonna
Then.
move on
Dave,
now.
yeah, let's just move on. Dave, what about you? You've got a few things on there.
So I've got loads of stuff on there. So because it's been a couple of weeks, so I've watched Only Murders in the Building. season
Quality,
3.
not quantity, Dave, please.
These are all quality things. So Only Murders in the Building. I'm guessing you guys have seen or know.
I haven't
of
seen.
Only
I
Murders-
stopped watching season 2, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but I just, stopped
I
because
stopped
I don't watch
watching.
much telly.
Yeah, I stopped watching the end of season 1.
It's good.
It's more of the same,
Olivia
but different.
Rodriguez. Yeah,
What,
yeah, it's a
Olivia
murder
Rodrigo?
mystery.
Huh? Selena
No,
Gomez.
it's not. Selena Gomez. Yeah, sorry, got confused between the two.
These young American pop stars. They're all the same.
And Martin Short and Steve Martin. It's a theatrical pat on the back between them all, and it's a murder mystery. It's okay. Is it?
I like, and it's the twist is
People
it's like
like
a
it?
podcast.
If
thing.
people like it, yeah, it's a podcast themed.
It's simple fodder for people.
Yeah, it's so easy to watch. The good thing about it is the actual murder mystery is quite a good mystery.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's loads of good jokes though as well. Usually,
Yeah, it's quite light-hearted, but it's a good, it makes you think all the way through. Sometimes these murder mysteries, it's pretty obvious who it is, but actually they do a good job of telling the story and how they work it out.
Right.
So that's good. Star Trek Lower Decks, the best Star Trek series across any
Ever?
time or ages ever.
What?
Shut up.
Yeah, it is.
Easy.
It is.
Next Generation would like a word.
I started watching that as well, but I didn't put it on here.
You
But
just
no,
started it?
I'm rewatching it. Yeah,
From the
So,
beginning. I bet that's
from
pretty
the
dated
beginning.
now.
I
It
think
is
some of the
pretty-
early ones are a little
Who's your
bit-
fancy though?
What do you mean?
Go on, everyone had one of their favourites in there.
Tasha Yar.
Tasha Yar or Beverly Crusher or
Beverly
what's her
Crusher's
name?
all right.
Or
What was the other one?
Crusher? Yeah, possibly
The
Crusher.
Chancellor woman. What's her name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Chancellor.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Deanna
advisor
Troy.
guy. Yeah, that's the one. You obviously was a major.
So-
Oh, I had a friend of mine at uni. Oh my god, he was absolutely infatuated with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there was one of them three. There was 7 of 9 in that as well. Was she in there? That was Voyager.
No,
wasn't
she
it?
was in Voyager. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what I started watching it from the very very beginning, and one of the first episodes is somebody has sex with Data.
Really?
Yes.
In the first
It's
episodes?
I think it's the second or third episode. They come across a pathogen that makes everybody drunk, and so one of the female characters has sex with
Awesome.
with,
It was
with
still
Data.
so much bonkers like the old one, wasn't it? Didn't Tasha Yar get killed by a black ooze?
Don't know. I like
Why do
Tasha
I
Yar, though.
remember that?
That is like a planet. It's like a entity on a planet that's it's an evil entity. But no,
Likes
I've
classic
literally
Star Trek.
yeah. So I've just started watching season 1.
How many of them were
Which
there?
7 seasons.
So, it just feels like there was
No.
more than that.
Yeah. No, it was like I think it's
But
late
but
80s?
I think at that time Sky was like showing an episode every day with The Simpsons, right? I mean, they were just that's why we were just chomping through them at university. You could watch them every day, you know.
You had Sky at uni. Were you like loaded?
Yeah, I can't remember
This is
why.
pre just being able to get everything on the internet. Sure.
Yeah, it was cable, I think. It's like one of
Ooh.
the first places to have cable, early
Wow.
days of cable in Britain.
You probably had like one like in a big community. Like just had one box.
So every room has
Oh,
the
yeah.
same channel on.
Yeah. One person controls it. So yeah, there was that. What else did I put on here? Star Trek Lower Decks.
We just totally didn't talk about what Star Trek Lower Decks is, and you just randomly started talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was talking
Next
about the
Generation.
Next Generation. So Star Trek Lower Decks is the cartoon stories about the lower decks. So the people not in the actual
Are they the ones that
command
go?
of the ship.
They don't get called down to the surface to die. Those people.
They are. So they're on. They're not on like first context. They're not on Galaxy ships. They're on like support vessels that do like second contact. So after the people on first contact get there and save the day, they're the ones that sort of go there and then like actually give them tools and stuff for farming and
Integrate them
Right.
into the
it's
Federation.
yeah, and set up communication buoys and it's like the actual administration and things that an actual federation with multiple planets would need to do. It's not just running and saving a day. It's actually there's stuff that needs to happen, and it's the stories about the lower decks on one of these, the Sorrentos, I think it's called, ship, which is a support vessel, and it's a very good story, even though it is cartoon animated. I think Jack Quaid is one of the characters. So one of the guys who plays a character in The Boys, and there's a few of them. They're quite big actors playing these parts. And yeah, it's they had a is it Stranger? What's it called? Star Trek Strange Lands. I can't remember
Strange
what it's
New
called.
Worlds.
Strange New Worlds.
Quite a bit like Strange Lands, but
Yeah, Strange New Worlds. They had a collaboration between the two.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, and the characters got pulled from Lower Decks into the real world, and I think it's
Oh, was this
Boimler.
on Strange New Worlds? This is actually on. Is that a bit bonkers? That program? I have not. I only watched the first episode.
It is. It's yeah. It's not bonkers. There is. They keep it fresh on Strange New Worlds. Yeah.
Fresh.
Fresh. So it's not like Enterprise or the original series, or even like the other one that I didn't like so much. Oh,
Deep Space
God's
Nine.
sake. Deep Space Nine. Yeah, they're all very serious. Strange New Worlds does play around with the format. But yeah, same with Lower Decks. But across the board, Lower Decks is probably the best
I'll watch it.
Star Wars story.
All right, that's a big statement.
Oh,
Where are you watching it?
Netflix.
I don't think it's on Netflix here.
Don't know. Or so,
Alright.
I can't remember. I'm watching it somewhere. It might be Paramount Plus. I don't know.
Paramount Plus is Strange New Worlds for sure. I don't know about Lower Decks. I thought Lower Decks was on Netflix before, but I don't know if it is now.
Yeah.
It's all Paramount now, isn't it?
So yeah, and that takes me into the Netflix lower tier hell, which we've previously spoken about with ad supported. Netflix has put up his price. I realised how much I was paying a year. I thought, I'll stick it to the lowest tier, see how it is. And I realised I don't like watching adverts anymore.
Oh yeah.
That's that's what pirated TV does for you.
Well, that's what having the top tier of Netflix, realising that you
mostly pirated TV though.
Mostly pirated TV.
They're good at editing out all the ads.
It's I don't know. It's distracting.
How many ads?
I think that's
is
the
it
whole
watching
reason why I went onto
show?
streaming media.
Yeah.
Before. Well, I watched an episode of The Next Generation, which is a 45-minute show, and there was 4 30-second or 40-second adverts. It's not too bad, but the whole point of why I went into streaming media and why I went on to Netflix, and when Netflix was fucking fantastic, it was cheap, it had everything on it, and it was no ads. And yeah, it's just the service is getting diluted by everybody having their own streaming service now and trying to make a buck off it.
It's getting silly now, isn't it?
It's too difficult now, right? Nobody can afford all the streaming services, so now
you're going to lose out.
There was one I got seen the other day. There was something I was like, that looks alright. It was on Lionsgate Plus. I was like, what the fuck is Lionsgate Plus? It used to be Stars Play, apparently. I was like, I ain't fucking.
Stars here is connected to Disney Plus, I think.
Stars is on Disney. Stars Play is a separate one. It's like it's too fucking many. You know what? Paramount Plus is included with my Sky Cinema subscription now. I don't ever pay for Apple TV. I just always get a voucher from something I've bought. I don't know. I'm getting it. I get Disney through club card vouchers. They've now started doing that. They've got an ads tier now. Apparently, you can do Disney with ads, or Disney full price. Yeah, it's fucking Netflix is included with Sky for like £4. But and I was like, when they put the price up, I was like, here we go. I'm going to get the email from Sky saying, Netflix have put the price up, so you're going to have to pay more. But I haven't had it yet. So.
I don't know. It's just there's just too many. I think the whole thing's going to implode. Like I can't see.
The thing is, people won't
everybody-
buy them. People won't pay
No.
for them, so they'll just like stop doing them, and they'll
Yeah.
sell their stuff to Sky or whoever.
Well, the outliers as well. I mean, I would imagine Netflix, Disney Plus, Prime is sort of a different animal, really. I think.
And Apple, they're the four that are going to survive.
Apple, those are the ones that are going to survive, I think, right? And
Because
then the smaller
money
ones,
elsewhere.
the smaller ones will cave in, and the content will go hopefully to the bigger ones, and we'll get it that way. You know.
Yeah. With ads, with extra ads.
Yeah.
Can I not pay anything and get just ads? Just watch ads all the time.
Yeah. Then pay you.
Netflix only ads.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Other than we are shopping for a Christmas table, a table for our kitchen for Christmas. Yeah, it's a lot harder than I anticipated.
What, the table?
The choosing of.
It's easy if you just go to IKEA. They've only got about 3 tables. It's like, it's either that one or that one or that one.
No, we want a nice one. So.
All right. Netflix not good enough for you, Dave?
Oh, wow. Oh, listen to her. Okay.
You mean IKEA? Yeah.
That's what I said.
No,
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Great.
We want. Apparently, we want. Sorry.
Apparently, we want. So Dave has no idea what he wants.
A living.
Look out, mate. Your
edge.
Your strings are
a
showing.
living edge.
A living edge.
What does that mean?
It means like bark is still on it.
Curvy and a bit of
This is a
bark
term that people who sell you kitchens use.
Oh, it's all fashionable right now. Please don't say resin inlays, otherwise we're done here.
I don't know about any reason, but I know it needs to be a light oak.
Yeah, I did them at IKEA. I was going to say Netflix again, but I don't know why.
Well, you go, mate. I mean, go have it made then, right? You know.
Yeah.
Oh right, fucking hell.
Why
don't
you don't sit there and say, "I want a living edge oak table."
No. I did.
Like he's
say
got
I
to
want.
be prepared to
I
be
want.
dropping.
No, I said we won the royal we. So a collective between me and the missus. She wants all this. So now we're looking at a tabletop, and then we're gonna look at somebody coming in and building a.
Mate, there's thousands of YouTube videos of people making their own tables on YouTube.
Okay, must be nice. How the other
got
half
all the
live, eh?
tools.
Custom furniture coming in, living edge oak tables.
Just make your own. Make your own.
Wow, I thought we were in a recession.
I will be broke at the end of this.
No, you won't. You're not running out of money. I keep thinking you might. You don't.
So we'll see.
How can you keep telling me I'm loaded? And look at old living edge up here.
I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start.
Tomorrow we're going to go and have a look at some tables.
So where do you go to find a living edge? What the fuck is a living edge exactly?
You go to someone who specializes
it's like your table's still
and you get your
part
fucking
of a tree.
checkbook out. That's what you do.
So it's basically woodworkers or like a timber.
Is it sustainable?
Places.
That's what I want to know. Does it come from sustainable sources?
That's probably from Brazil, so
well, that's probably not. Then, is it?
That
sounds very unsustainable if it comes from Brazil.
Chopped up by Hadrian's Wall.
A special limited edition.
I actually saw somebody selling a living edge table the other day. I was like, oh, okay. Second
was that on Facebook Marketplace?
Marketplace. Yeah.
So it's not quite as living edge as it was if it's second hand.
It had a resin inlay. They've done the blue resin inlay on it.
Can you charge your iPhone on a wireless charging pad?
How many of those are out there now?
So what's that now?
So is it got like a wireless charging pad for your iPhone or something? built in?
Built in. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of them at the moment. That's
Right. Just go to IKEA, buy a table, and go. Found this table. It's
The
like
beauty of it
it's
is
a
not
living
only
edge table.
the beauty of it is not only has he got to pay for this, is that he's got to go shopping for it tomorrow. Oh man, I can't imagine I'd want to do anything more on Saturday than shop for tables.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
it's a definite first world problem, but yeah, it's the thing is
That's
tables the start of it. Then we're looking at benches
Have you
or
got some chairs to
It's
go
like,
with it?
oh
You benches?
no.
What is it outdoors?
of course your missus is in full homemaking mode, isn't she? Oh my god.
For Christmas, because we're gonna have people over.
Whose Christmas present is this? This is your wife's Christmas present, I assume, then, if she wants it so bad.
I'll be buying. I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
I bought you
Yeah.
a
Look at his
table.
face.
Why not? Yeah.
He's trying to he's calculating it all. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Fun times.
All right. Good luck finding your table.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I'll send you some pictures.
I'll play some Forza or something while you're
And that's it. That's what I've been doing this week.
Wow.
All right. Table updates. Oh no, hang on a second. There are Dave updates that we need because there's been no mention
Of the
of the
pooch.
pitter patter of little paws.
Oh no.
She's been appearing in the background.
Oh no, she's not pregnant.
Oh dear. Did you get your money back then?
No, she's gonna go and see her boyfriend again next time
Ah.
she's.
Oh, she's getting a free
Yeah.
second round.
Yep.
Nice. All right.
He looks well impressed there.
Just give a shit.
Dave's dog is
What are you
waving
doing?
to us now for those who are listening. All right. Let's move on then to what we've been playing. Layla, would you like to go first?
We don't want her to know what she's been doing.
I'll go
I won't
first.
be getting videos of that up, that's sure.
No.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Looks like we got a few to go through here.
I'm quite excited about it.
Have you? I don't know. You haven't put anything in. Have you actually played any games?
Yeah, not really. I will talk about Hunt, but
Oh god.
I played that. Look, we're interrupting Dave again.
Yeah, let's get
Sorry.
Dave on.
We always
Let's
do
get
this,
Dave on.
buddy.
So,
Poor old Dave. Everybody keeps interrupting him.
I've been playing Midnight Suns.
Is that Gotham one?
No.
It's the Marvel.
Oh.
It's the opposite of Gotham.
Not the DC one. It's a card building strategy event timed
XCOM,
combat,
isn't it?
XCOM RPG. There's RPG in it, and you yeah.
A mishmash of several genres.
It is a mishmash of several genres. The main missions, to be honest, the whole game takes a lot longer than you think it's going to take. There are a lot of story elements. There's a lot of things to go through and things to find. There's a kind of open world bit which is not combat at all, but you're finding things out and you're doing puzzles. And then there you go back and you can do missions and you send people off to do missions themselves, and you do research and you upgrade your characters and you upgrade your cards and discover new cards and generate friendships and but I suppose most people will talk about the combat, which is a turn-based card in a arena that you can also, it's a 3D arena that you navigate in a 3D space, or well 2D
So what you have,
space.
so XCOM, you have like action points.
Yes.
So you can use those action points however you wish. You have so many. You can move. You can use all of them to move.
Yep.
But there's no cards, obviously, in XCOM. So how
No.
do you still have action points in this?
So you don't have action points. You have card actions, which you can use to play a card. So each card costs one card action to play. So in theory, you've got 3 card actions. But some cards have the action of the card doesn't contribute that, or if you KO kill an enemy, that refunds the action point.
How do you move? Do you have move
So
groups
you
separate?
don't move. So if
Right.
you play a card and it's kill an enemy, well, drop kick an enemy, your character just goes over and does that on the enemy that you choose. But you also have move actions which you can use to engage the enemy through an upgrade, to hit them into a different object or hit them into a different enemy to reduce their health, or if they're specific enemies, you can just kill them straight away, or you can use part of the scenery to either hit them into to cause them to lose health, or interact with the scenery to drop a light on them, or crate of boxes, or you can throw an object that you would think is part of the scenery at them, and that's using the move points. So there's sort of card actions and move points, and depending on the characters that you choose, you either get more card points or more move points, or the cards that you use change that ratio. So you'd normally go on a mission with 3 characters. At the moment, I think I've got 9 or 10 different characters, and depending on what you do is sending others on missions, or if you so you have part of the game is you're upgrading certain characters, you're upgrading others with their cards, and you're trying to use the best characters that you have available to go through these missions. The most fun character I've been playing with is Deadpool, because he's just funny. He's very funny. But if you pair him with Blade actively hates Deadpool.
Right.
So their interactions, even in the like just playing in the missions with them, are quite humorous.
Will
I'm
there
sure.
be buffs or debuffs between characters?
So yes, the specific characters have, if you pair them together, have hero cards that you can use to, and Blade and Deadpool are one of them, where Blade kills an enemy through Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
which
nice.
yeah, it's yeah, it's
So the
there's
actual arena, you don't need to be too concerned where you are standing in the arena. It's like it's more basically a card battler, but in
yes.
a 3D arena.
Although some enemies do have a AOE attack,
Right.
so you want to actively move your characters out of the way by either attacking another enemy that puts your character in this arena, or you use a specific move action to get them out of the way. But as I say, you're limited on both. So you're limited on your card actions and your move actions. So it depends on what you want to do. You could either buff your character and put a shield in front of you to try and not take the energy and not take the hit so much, or use them to attack an enemy. So it might not be the best attack that you've got in your hand, but it moves them away from being hit. Yeah, it's a game that I can see why it didn't do so very well, because it didn't.
Must have done okay. It ain't come to Game Pass yet.
They heavily discounted it shortly after release, because it famously didn't do as well as they want, and I can see why, because it's such a hard game to convey.
It's a complicated game for,
For a
like
superhero game.
Marvel is a huge, like massively
Yes.
wide appeal, potentially franchise. But most people who play video games, like Spider-Man 2, obviously, a huge
If you're a kid
spectacle, blah blah blah.
and you beg your parents to buy Spider-Man 2 and you play it, your mind is going to be blown.
Yeah.
If you're a kid and you beg your parents to buy you that game that Wolverine's in that you've just seen, and you have to play that, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
unless you're that way inclined. But I think the majority of kids or fans, it's
Yeah,
pretty I don't know what's the word. You know what I mean? It's
niche.
a
It's
little
a
bit
niche.
niche. Yeah.
Yeah,
The style of game is niche.
It is very story orientated. There is a lot of story. There's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of preamble. The like between missions, between the arenas, it can be like half hour, 45 minutes of doing
Right.
various different things. It's not like just go in and do a mission, come out, and then go back in and do another mission with some different characters and stuff. Well, not for me, because I'm trying to play it properly and do all the things and like do all the hangouts and the get the best cards and get the best characters and upgrade them and everything. I'm suppose you could play it like that, but you wouldn't be doing yourself any favors.
Right.
It's got
and-
people I
and-
don't know who in it as well. Like, who's this hunter guy that's on the screen? He's fishing with Blade apparently at the moment. Like in the story moment.
Yeah,
Hunter, he was in some of the old cartoons with Spider-Man, wasn't he?
So Hunter is the character that you play. I don't
Right.
actually
See
know.
the guy who's got the red fur around his neck or something.
No, I don't
Am I thinking
know.
of somebody else?
Not in this.
Hunter, you can be a boy or a girl, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But there
Got
is
a
a
bit
lot
of
of
sway. Got a bit of
there's
sway.
there's the Midnight Suns, which is the group that you join into, and then all these additional characters come in. So Blade and Blade is part of the Midnight Hunters, but Deadpool and Spider-Man and Wolverine and Doctor Strange and even Venom at one point. They join up, but I don't really know about the story about the Midnight Suns as a group themselves.
Mm-hmm. You're not into the comics.
No,
this is definitely deep comic book lore coming out in this game, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think this game came out a year too late when Marvel was a big thing. I think people kind of going off Marvel as a franchise about seeing every film because there was just so much. It like literally saturated with Marvel shit. And it's a game that they couldn't sort of pin down exactly what it is. It's a great story if you like the story of Marvel, and it has a good gameplay elements in it. That's it's a car battler, it's an arena battler, it's an RPG, but telling people how to play it or what to do, is a hard sell. It is a good game. I do really like it. I can't. If you don't like Marvel or Marvel story or heavily story-based games, I can't recommend it.
Sounds right up your street, Fraser.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm well up for that.
But I honestly think if they could probably make a game that is 25% of this into a really good card battling game.
Right.
I feel like the card is like, have they made it too complicated? Like, if they just made it a simple card battling game, would that be a bit more straightforward? An easier sell.
I think they could have simplified a lot of things and made a really good game for 10 or 15 quid. Which I can't see why they're
not going to do that with Marvel's name on it.
Well, I think at this point they're trying to recoup. It's on sale a lot. I did get it on sale for like 60 or 70% off. Yeah, like
Scott Chops is like visually very good. Like, it looks not.
it is, yeah.
It's not about AAA, but it's
I think it's quite well polished.
All right. So you giving it a thumbs up? I'm sorry, I'm going to run us along because we got tons of games in front of us. I can see.
None of us are going to talk about them very long.
All right.
Thumbs up.
All right. Okay. Do you want to swap then, Neil? Do you want to go pick one out?
Okay. Right. I'll do an easy one because I don't have to get a video up. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Not putting videos up for Nintendo games. I'm still playing that.
I was thinking about this again today.
I'll see another offer on it today over here. Someone's selling it for 35 quid if you do something or other. Don't have to sell your children or anything. It's nothing too bad. Maybe you want to sell your children. I don't know. But yeah, so I played just I don't know. I went in and just picked up the controller, turned it on, because I'm going to get a limited time on this because it's on the big TV, the big family TV. So I have to wait for no one else to be around to play on it. But yeah, so I got a bit of time on it the other day, and there's a point in the game where you get to choose one of 3 or 4 lands to visit. So there's an obvious order of like what seems to be an obvious order that you're supposed to go in. But I was like, fuck that, I'm going to the end, the lava area, which appears to be like there's quite a lot of high difficulty levels. It seems 3 and 4 star difficulties. So I just went and ploughed through a load of that. I ain't finished it. But yeah, it just continues to be amazing and just bring in new mechanics all the time and never gets old. And like at the same time, you can then like the badge system is very clever because it gives you things that you can just bring into a level that you choose to bring in to maybe once you've played it, you think, oh, if I had this ability, I could do this in this situation. So you might go and change your badge so that you can jump really high or float really high when you jump, or be able to like use your hat as a parachute so you can fly a long way, and or whatever. The fucking I don't know how many badges there are in total. I've not even unlocked half of them, I don't think, at the moment. So it's just a wonder, as it is.
I'm going up the queue in the middle in the library.
How many in front of you now?
So I think I was 35 last week. I'm 31 now.
Wow, that's still a long time away.
Well, 4 a week.
At 30 odd weeks, that's still 8 weeks
No,
away.
31. No, that's not. 35 whole. I started at 35 people in the queue.
Okay.
I'm now at 31 after a week.
So 7 or 8 weeks left.
Yeah.
All right. So it'll be Christmas.
Maybe. After Christmas.
If you're lucky.
The bleak months of January will be
Filled
made
with
colourful filled with wonder, exactly.
Exactly. Well, I saw something the other day. They've sold 4.5 million copies or something of this game.
Oh, there'd be lots of second-hand copies then for me to choose from.
So, but yeah, just play it for fuck's sake. Just go and get it and buy it. It's not that expensive. It's a cheap Super Mario game.
Mate, it's coming. The library is going to deliver it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, I have to go pick it up.
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't actually have to go anywhere. It came through my letterbox. So, but I did pay for it.
Look at you.
But yeah, there's plenty more to come from that game. I'm not probably just about halfway, I would say. Probably not quite halfway. But yeah, like I say, opportunities to play are limited. My wife's been off. My son's been off sick, which means my wife's been working from home, which means she's watching telly while she works, which is annoying. So.
What? Really?
Yes. She doesn't watch it all day long. But, like, she'll have the telly on in the afternoon when I'm awake and available to play video games.
Watching what?
Fucking absolute shit. She's watching some Australian detective thing now. I don't even want to say what. I don't even know what it's called.
Do you guys watch television when you have dinner?
No. Unless, I might have football on in the background. But
boy.
We don't have watched proper telly. That requires attention. We just have to stand up and look over the room divider to see what's going on, potentially if something exciting happens. But generally, we don't have the telly on. But yeah, Super Mario Brothers, very good.
Wonderful. Literally.
Can't wait to get back to it. But I could literally pick up the Switch and play it on the Switch, but I don't really want to because I don't want to play it on the small screen. I want to play it on the big TV.
Big screen's cool.
Yeah.
Big Mario game on the TV. It's cool.
Exactly. It looks just looks amazing. It's unbelievable that it's on the Switch. It's like, how is this? It just looks great. So, but yeah.
All right.
More of that to come.
All right. Who wants to go next?
How many have you got?
Davey, back to you.
I'll go back to me. I've been playing some more Skitty
Skylines.
Well, I don't think you'd play. We've heard you talk about this.
No, because this came out while you was off ill.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah.
I picked it up last week. Not last week, week before. Yeah, I did say I started playing it. I think it came out on like the Thursday or Friday.
I think I do remember playing video of it.
Yeah, it's great. It's a city builder.
I heard it's running like jank.
Yeah, it's not so optimized. So I don't think I've dipped below like 20 FPS.
Nothing game
20?
breaking anyway.
20? Ugh.
But it's not. But it's not like I'm.
It's not an FPS
Yeah,
game that you're worried
no,
about, right?
no. Oh no, it's gone slightly framey. Oh, it's fine now. Ooh. But literally, like it doesn't. It's not a driving game or a fighting game or a first-person shooter or something. It's a city builder. And I can, and it's it's replicatable when it actually happens. It's when you make a massive, like uh, zoning. So like loads of residential, commercial,
Or
or
did you try
industrial.
upgrade your CPU, Dave?
No, I think it's quite. I think it's CPU intensive.
You should go
Um,
shopping for one tomorrow. Oh, you can't. Gotta go table shopping.
um. So, but yeah, it's great. There's lots of um lots of upgrades from the first one. Lots of sort of life improvements on so with City Skylines, like some mods that you have like kind of had to have was like traffic orientated. Um, in that you can like designating lanes specifically to go left or right, or adding or removing lights and pedestrian crossings and things like that. That's all built in to this game. There is some things that are missing from like the nightlife. That's a big thing that's not included with this game, which was a DLC for the first one. I'm sure they'll add it, or they'll add it as DLC. Um, it's just really good. The whole city building and planning part is very very good, very intuitive, and yeah, just a joy to play with really. As a city builder, I haven't really messed around with the water physics or anything like that.
What
But
are the big so like is that some of the stuff that's they've really upgraded? It's like
I think the things that have upgraded is sort of um, the planning of the roads, the infrastructure, how power and water and sewage is sort of stimulated. I think the water physics themselves is quite similar from what I've seen, but the
because
tools
that's
that
not really got a bearing on much, really, has it? I mean, water physics or anything like that. It's still
it does a
infra.
little bit. If you accidentally block off a river and then it just flows in a completely different direction, it could wash away half your
Oh,
city.
okay. All
Um,
right. Okay. Oh, that's
so
cool. Yeah.
so yeah, it
Not
does.
just visual. I'm just thinking of visual effects, really, and you know what I mean?
No,
Like if you place this river here, it looks prettier this version, you know, or is it? There's more than that, right?
it's more than that. You can like individually carve out like channels and create artificial.
Did you do so much like transforming of the
Oh,
landscape in the past?
yeah. I think that's what he said to what Dave said last week or last time was that there was that element
Yeah,
to it now.
yeah,
There's more
yeah.
sort of
There is
terraforming.
there is more terraforming. The terraforming tools that you're given
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
are
did, yeah. Yeah.
better. So yeah, it's I've not gone mad. I say I've really sort of I've been playing a little bit, a couple of hours. But it's just a great sit down and play. Slowly build up. There's lots of sort of helpful tips and tips. If anything's going wrong, it's quite obvious. It's quite good at signposting what needs to be done what needs to happen. There's a radio station that like chimes in, like saying, "Oh, crime has been increasing," and you're like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." Then you're like, "Oh, hang on, I'll just double check." So, oh yeah, I've created a whole new part of my city, but I haven't put any like police stations or anything like that. So it's little things like that that's quite
Right.
it's quite good. Again, some things are quite repetitive, but yeah, It's really good. Really enjoying it. It's a really nice city builder. I'll definitely keep playing on it.
Looks like
It's
there's I'm watching someone basically build a railway station. It would appear at the moment, and there's multiple lines in and platforms. Looks pretty complicated. Looks like you can make it very complicated.
You can make it as complicated as you want. You can it can be very simple, or there's you with the roads and rail, there are you can sort of have multiple layers of different things. You can have railroads on top of roads.
Can you recreate Spaghetti Junction?
You can recreate Spaghetti
Cool.
Junction. Yeah, it's
one of mankind's greatest achievements.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the greatest.
Well, probably, yes. Sorry.
You can also recreate magic roundabouts as well. So you can have like
fucking hell.
multiple.
I had to go past that the other day. Jesus.
Is that Luton? Or is
Hemel
it
Hempstead.
near it's
Hemel
Hemel
Hempstead.
Hempstead, isn't it? Yeah.
It's
not far.
It's like, imagine a roundabout and then make 6 roundabouts on one big roundabout.
Around the roundabouts.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
But it's a bit more of a head fuck to think about than it is when you actually get there. But at the same time, when you get there, like, where the fuck am I going?
Yeah. It's like I don't know. I can't imagine it's an accident hotspot.
It's definitely not magic. That's all I'm saying.
It's not magic. The bizarre thing about it is, like, if you think about it, it all makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but it's like,
but it's just
make a big fucking roundabout.
It's so bizarre, yeah, so bizarre. Check out Magic Roundabout in Hemel Hempstead if you want to know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on shitty skylines?
No, just it's on Game Pass. I love it.
Oh yeah,
Play it.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Has it been patched? Has it been getting patches? Because I know that they basically came out and said before
they're all getting patches. Everything gets patches now.
It was a bit ropey. It wasn't quite
even
what
the
they
patches
wanted it to
get
be.
patches.
It's so popular that they're going to be supporting this for a long time. I don't know, to be honest.
How old is the first one? 2015 or something? So 8 years.
Yeah.
Someone appears to be making a cock and balls on the on the video that I've got. I'm not it's not on screen.
You can do whatever you want to do. All right, what else we got?
Right, shall I go next then?
Go next.
Where shall I go next? Okay, I played a load more Forza Motorsport.
Of course you did.
I've been playing through the career mode. As I noticed that one of the tours of part of the career mode said it had only 6 days remaining. I was like, fucking hell, what the fuck? They're going to replace like a tier at the top tier, or the bottom tier, depending on how you want to look at it. The one at the end of the list, or the bottom, is open class racing. So it starts at C, goes to B, A, and S. And it said there was only 6 days remaining. So obviously that tier, if campaign, is going to disappear after 6 days and replaced by something else, I assume. So I was like, well, I'm going to go do that while it's there. So I just sat there, and I don't know how. I was fucking on it for about 6 hours straight, just like ploughing through it, refining my lines, getting better at going around corners fast, and upgrading some of my cars. I bought the Outrun car, but it's not a soft top or no top. It's the hard top.
Testarossa.
Ferrari 512 Testarossa.
I've driven one of those.
Have you really? A real one?
Yes.
In real life? Nice.
Yeah, one of those one of those. Here, you can drive it around the track slow for fucking...
Do not go over 30 miles an hour.
It was impressive, though.
They sound good. But
the most impressive thing about it was we were starting off in it, and he goes, put it in third. And I was like, what? He goes, put it in third. Let's take off in third. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, it fucking didn't miss a beat. V12 just went, yeah, fuck. Who cares? Yeah. Third gear. First, second, third, whatever you want. Brilliant.
If you tried it in first, you'd probably just been sitting there going nowhere with your full wheel spin.
Probably would have. Probably, yeah. That would look like, and then I would look like a fool.
Yeah. Crazy fool. But the thing is, I was watching Super GT, a guy called Super GT on YouTube, and he was saying how good the multiplayer's been, and I was just like, I watched about 3 of his videos in a row. I was like, I really want to go back and play the multiplayer. But when I loaded it up, I was like, actually really want to get this career mode just done so that I can just play multiplayer. Whenever I load it up, it will just be go and play multiplayer. So because I don't want that distraction of like things going, you haven't done this, so come and do it.
Right.
So yeah, I just wanted to plow through that career mode and get it done. And yes, just like I said, I just sat there for hours and hours and hours playing it. And just like, if you're into that kind of thing.
No, I get it. Like, I haven't played it since.
I was hoping some people might turn up.
Remember, we didn't play last weekend, did we?
No. We need to get another little multiplayer session going.
But yeah, I understand that. Just see, I'd like to play it, but the only way I'm going to play it is if I sit down and just let a couple of hours wash over me. Right? I just need to focus, just play it and let it just.
You'd have to stop playing the shooter game.
I'd have to stop playing the greatest game ever made.
Well, is it though?
It is. Should I talk about Hunt Showdown quickly? Then should I segue that?
Go on, then.
You still got more on
Forza? No, I was just playing Forza. It's just Forza is Forza. You talk about the Hunt game.
Can't even bring yourself to say
Sorry, if you've got more on Forza.
Well, no, I'm not. I was going to say it's like I was finding it like I've said before, and I was playing the multiplayer, and one of the themes through the Super GT videos was how respectful the racing is on multiplayer. And actually,
yeah, but we talked about that before, didn't we?
It.
Isn't there a rating or something? Helps
you have a skill rating and you have a safety rating,
right?
So he's obviously a seasoned YouTuber of racing games. Played, I think, a lot of GT. I'm assuming comes from playing Gran Turismo back in the day, but you're in higher skilled level lobbies potentially. So you're finding people of a similar ethos when they come to racing. They don't want to be fucking crashing into people. They want to have a good, clean race, good, clean fun. They want to have a good fight, but they don't want to be knocking people off the track. So you end up having a load of good races. But playing against the computer, fuck me, the amount of times like it's just totally taking you out. It's I'm just driving around. I'm going. It's busy because we're like first call and first lap. It's mental. There's loads of cars, full track, like 20 odd cars or whatever. And you can choose whether you start like first, or maybe you can't choose first, but you can choose like 4th down to 24th. And I would like to start at sort of 13, 14, 15, get in the middle of the pack, get amongst it, have a bit of a few corners of a load of like overtaking and have a bit of fun. But fucking hell, some of the times I've been like, just some of the cars just completely fucking wipe you out, and you're like, well, that's it, I'm restarting that race because you've just completely tamed me, taken me off, smashed me into the barriers, my car's fucked. And that has not been happening in multiplayer, whereas in single player it's quite annoying at times that how much they just crash into you. Or like I've been absolutely flying through a corner chasing someone and they'll just brake on the apex, and I just go straight up their ass. And I'm like, what the fuck are you braking for? Why did you slow down? There's nothing in front of you. So yeah, multiplayer is the way to go, but I want that single player out of the way so that I can play. And like he was saying that one of the best hoppers on the multiplayer is the Formula Mazda. So it's open wheel racing.
Sorry, what hopper?
Yeah, it's like a server, effectively, if you want to call it a server. But it's like you go in, it's all the same type of racing. So there's the touring cars, there's GT cars, and then there's like Formula Mazda, where they're open wheel races, not like Formula One car powerful. It's maybe not a bit more than Formula Ford. So they've got a bit of aerodynamic wings and stuff, but they're not super fast. So, but he was having a lot of fun playing those lobbies. But so I'll call it a lobby instead, maybe. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the touring cars when I played that. I haven't played much GT. I haven't played much other than touring cars online, to be fair. But because touring cars are fairly forgiving, if you get clonked into, you can have a little bit of bumping and bruising without getting sent off the track and completely fucking wiped out.
What's the rubbing is racing?
Yeah, exactly. But if you're in an open wheel car, damage tends to come quite quick. I don't know how it is in Forza, to be fair, because I haven't really played it. But yeah, open wheel racing is much more precarious than cars. Open wheel obviously means that the wheels are exposed, like a Formula One or an IndyCar, or well, less so in IndyCar. But yeah, the lower formulas like Formula One, Formula Two, Formula 3, and there's Formula Ford is massively exposed. It's basically just like these wheels on the end of some metal rods in Formula Ford, but you don't get that in Forza. That's about as exposed as your racing gets. So yeah, if you clonk wheels with someone like that, that's it, game over basically. But yeah, still having a lot of fun playing Forza. It's not perfect
Got
by any
legs.
means. Yeah, it's not a sim racer. It's fun. It's a fun
Yeah.
racing
Forza.
game. Yeah, but it's a bit more serious than your Forza Horizon for sure, obviously. Anyway, want to talk about Hunt now?
Sure. Hunt is Hunt, although we are right in the middle of, I say middle, actually, we're getting towards probably the latter half of the event pass. But it just seems right now the aggro meta is on. It feels like a lot of the guys just seem to be getting together and just want to fight, you know. And I think I feel like we turned that corner in PUBG at one point as well, where you'd played the game, been cautious, whatever, and then eventually just like, we just got to fight. We just got to keep fighting. It's the only way we're going to get better, right? You know, ultimately you have to fight. And it's enjoyable. And with the event going on, there is tons of builds that benefit solos. So it feels like a bit of a solo meta going on. So there's a lot more solo players out there, and I think because you have a lot more solo players, people are getting more confident in their gunplay and whatnot. So it's getting a much more aggro. It just feels like it's much more aggro at the moment, which is great. Really enjoying it. Had some great games with all the lads. Seen Mark, Gary, Matt, all the usual suspects. Lloyd, it's all been good. I think Neil, you've popped in for a couple, maybe not
I don't
too recently, but
recently.
no.
No, I popped in some
So-
PUBG. And did
Oh, and
really
my
badly
boy,
at those.
oh my god, my boy is so aggro, it's outrageous. He just wants to just get straight in there and kill people.
Well,
Which most people listening would be like, well, isn't that the whole point? It sort of is, but we're much older and more conservative in our gameplay. So these young bucks with no fear, right?
yeah, it's the Fortnite generation.
Yeah. So
Does he play much Fortnite?
no, he did download it to play the new map or the old new map or whatever it is.
Apparently, all of my boy was playing it the other day, and I was like, he was hearing names that I hadn't heard for ages. It's like, oh, is everyone back in Fortnite now? It's the OG who's back. It's like, yeah, everyone's back. Everyone's back.
Yeah.
They'd
I
had
think
their
they broke
record,
the record.
44 million or something.
I think they broke the record for concurrent players at 6 million or something, right?
Yeah, 44 million people playing it or something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it
Mad.
dropped off quickly. Yeah.
Any more
Anyway,
hunts?
Hunt continues to be Hunt. Same old. I did also play that climbing game that's on Game Pass. Jusant. Yeah, I gave that a good go for an hour, you know, but it was, and I've played some climbing games like that, Gone
Like
Home
Zelda.
or whatever, and whatnot, and Zelda's, yeah. It's all right, I guess. I mean,
Is there a good story?
No, I mean, it's that typical sort of indie vibe of they've done sort of pastel colored, basic graphics, but they've done it with enough minimalism to give it sort of like it. So you know that it's not been a ton of work, but it still looks nice. And then you're just fucking climbing. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't see where the fun was. I mean, I climbed.
Climbing. I know people who do climbing just for fun.
And well, yeah, I
You used
guess
to climb trees when you were a boy?
Yeah, I climb. I don't mind. Yeah, I used to like climbing stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed boring. It was just boring. It was just, I don't know.
Not your type
Maybe
of
I should
game.
have given it. It's only like 3 hours long, and I thought I can do this.
You could get the
do it.
3 hours, surely.
No, I got up to the main. There's like one main bit. The first main bit that you get up to is like a big structure spanning out. And, you know, I got all the way up there, so I gave it a good shake. But you know, that sort of pressing a trigger to grab with your left and pressing a trigger to grab with your right, releasing the left, grabbing the left, releasing the right, whatever. And I mean, you can get quite quick at it too. And you're placing carabiners and there's swinging and whatnot. I mean, it's all if that's you want to
If you like
climb,
climbing, this is your game.
there you go. I can't recommend it more highly if that's what you want. But I just thought, okay. After an hour, I was like, I think I'm done with this.
Wow.
So
Only an hour.
only an hour. It's like it got an hour, mate. Should consider itself more than privileged. All right, what else have we got?
Who's next? How many have you got? You've got 2. I've got 3. Shall I go 1?
Go on then, Neil.
Right. Okay, another racing game. I'm still playing my rally game. Not played it quite as much this week. It has had a patch. Does appear to be running better.
What's the name?
EA Sports WRC. It is, it's a lot more hardcore than Forza, I would say. In terms of it's quite brutal. If you go off,
Is that by its nature?
yeah, I mean,
Like,
rally's brutal, isn't it? If you fuck off, like,
do they do any lines for you to follow?
oh, you have the whole, like, you don't have the racing line. You have the co-driver telling you what's coming up,
Oh,
like proper
right.
rally, like
Okay.
like how it is in rally. Do you not play Colin McRae? Like
No.
2 left or whatever into 2 right over crest, all that. So you have to learn all the lingo if you don't know it already.
All right.
But yeah, like, so being able to listen to what's coming up is kind of a key skill you need to learn. Otherwise, sometimes definitely I've like got a bit tired and gone, I could have sworn he said 2 left there and gone the wrong way and like tried to go right and into like a tree or whatever. But it's
Yeah, I mean that's it, right? You'd make a mistake like that, you're fucked.
yeah,
That's
there's so the way I've got it set up, I get 5 restarts.
Oh, like a rewind.
There's no rewinds. No, you restart the whole stage. So if you're right at the end and you fuck off like a cliff and into the beyond, you can restart the whole stage. And some of the stage, like the longest stage in the game, is 30 odd kilometers. I haven't got to that one yet.
Wow.
Oh,
So
wow,
that's
okay.
like, yeah, this is the difference between the older games and this game. It's like the regularly you're doing like 13 to 14 kilometer runs, which can take like 8 to 10 minutes, depending on what sort of terrain you're on. So, and when you're like getting barked at constantly where the corners are and all that sort of stuff, it's pretty intense. So, yeah, I mean, that's what you're getting into when you play this game. Like, it's a rally game, you know. If you played the old ones, like this is that, but more, because it's more and more detailed, longer courses, better graphics. Better environments. I was like the other day, like some of the terrain, you go on an icy, snowy road in Monte Carlo, and it's like literally feels like you're driving on ice. It's fucking rock hard. Like you can't go very fast. You feel like you're going really slow, but you're like, I don't know. I've not got the difficulty set particularly high on my opposition, but I'm finishing like 2 minutes ahead of everyone else because it's that fucking hard. That's like you have to go super slow. Whereas there's others, like in the snow, you can actually go quite quick because you've got snow tyres on and they're actually quite grippy for that. But you've got to learn, like a lot of the rallies I've done are on tarmac. So there's less like sliding around and stuff like that. You don't want to be sliding around on the tarmac because you're just grinding your tyres down to nothing. So you want to be driving like a normal sort of drive. You want a bit to not skidding and sliding when you're driving on tarmac because you'll run the rubber down. But if you're on gravel, that's where you got to learn to be fucking like sliding around the corners and getting the back end out and using the handbrake and all that sort of stuff. So there's a variety of terrains you got to cover, but like some of them, just so brutal. Like you can be going along real sweet as a nut, and then you make a tiny error and you're off the side, and it's literally like a fucking cliff, and you're just like fuck, car fucked, unrecoverable. So either restart or quit the rally, and you're doing it like in your career mode. You're doing a whole year at a time. So you've got, say, the World Rally Championship in June in WRC2 that I'm doing in year 2 is 7 events. My benefactor says I've got to finish on the podium 6 times for the WRC2. So along the calendar, I've got to make sure I'm available for those events, There's only 7 of them, but I've got to finish on the podium in 6 of them. So I have to do at least 6 to make sure. And if I finish on the podium in the first 6, then I can probably leave the last one because I've probably won the whole thing anyway. But yeah, it varies. Like the first 2 rallies in WRC2 for the second season that I did were Monte Carlo in the winter in January, and then Sweden. So it starts off, you're on tarmac roads but covered in ice and a bit of snow in Monte Carlo, really fucking hard, and like the
that's
cliffs.
Be bad.
Monte Carlo is fucking crazy because like the road's extremely narrow, and like if you go offline, off the wrong side of the road, you're basically off down a fucking cliff. And then Sweden is different. You're in forests. There's no cliffs or anything like that, but you're driving through snow. So it's a completely different style of driving. But you've got to then get used to the like different terrain and all that sort of stuff. Different style of drive. It's completely different because you're on snow with snow tires. So it's quite grippy. It's a bit like driving on the gravel, basically, the snow. And then it's on to like Kenya, and it's completely different. It's the middle of summer, and you're fucking driving through a lush sort of jungle dirt track, and then off to fucking, I don't know, Portugal, which is like gravel and dirt and rock and dangerous because there's cliffs everywhere again. So you're going all around the place doing the World Rallies, Championship rallies, and I'm just like this. I haven't barely scratched the surface in terms of the cars that are available because you can. It's got a whole like back history of cars, like back to the Group B's crazy cars like the Metro, Audi Quattro, where like did it get banned in the end? I think Group B definitely got banned because they were too dangerous. Basically, they were massively high powered and completely unsafe. Like basically driving a fucking death trap. Like super lightweight, incredibly high horsepower, 4-wheel drive cars that were insane. I mean, I've driven a couple of the modern hybrids, and they're crazy because like the hybrid car, you need to use the brake to charge the battery, which is fine when you're rallying in the gravel because you literally you tap in the brake every so often, and then when the hybrid's available, you've got this insane amount of power available, but for really short period of time. But like if you time it right, you come out of a slow bend and you've been braking, and you come out of this slow bend and you put the accelerator on, and it's just like you've got some insane amount of force, but you just fly off down this fucking dirt track, and then there's another fucking like right angle bend at the end of it. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun if you're into that kind of thing, but it's pretty hard.
I'd like to try it.
It is pretty hard. Yeah, there's a 5-hour trial on.
Oh yeah, you said that.
EA Play, so you can get 5 hours on PC and 5 hours on Xbox, I believe. But
easy.
It's not easy, but it's fun. Right. It is fun.
All right, EA Sports WRC. It's in the game.
EA Sports in the game. It does happen at the start of the game.
Nice.
Not really.
Dave?
We've got Arcade Paradise. That game came to Game Pass. I think you spoke about this before.
You played this. You finished it.
No, I didn't finish it. No, I played it for a few hours.
That was Mike that finished
it, and then it was and then I was like, yeah, there's a lot of people who played it and liked it, and I played it, sort of liked it, but I couldn't commit to it.
Yeah, and it was the same old. These old games they're based on. They're not real games, but they're based on old games. It's still a bit alright.
Yeah. So the premise is you basically take over running a laundrette, and there happens to be arcades in the back, machines, and you can play them. You can set costs on them or whatever. I mean, basically, it's
stuff, and it's
laundrette management with arcade games.
Yeah. And you just end up doing the laundrette most times. It's
if you don't mind the busy work, I can see why people love this game.
But there's a toilet blocked. It says on the video that I'm watching. So you have to do all sorts.
I think it's like an indie darling game. I think some people like. I can see why people are really into it.
It's literally a mini game to clear the toilet of a blockage.
Yeah. I played it for a few hours. It's a big bag of okay.
It really is a big bag of okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I thought
that's
I'd put it on just because that's on Game Pass as well. That's come on. So if you've got a couple of hours,
I think that game is one game I would say to everybody to try it
Hmm.
because there's a very strong chance you'll love it.
I
I'd
think
be
you'll love it for
surprised
a
if you hate
very
it.
short amount of time.
Yeah,
And
but I
then-
think
and
with
then-
some people they could find they really get into it, like like a power wash simulator sort of thing,
Yeah.
right? There's a decent chance that you will love it as much as Mike Chin loved it, right? So why not have a quick punt on it while it's on Game
Yeah.
Pass and check it out?
Check it out.
I feel like that was one of my games too, even though it wasn't.
What do you mean it was one of your games, but it wasn't?
I said it felt like it. I got to
Oh.
contribute.
Okay. Right, I see. What today? There's
I played a
if
game. It
only
just
there was
happened to be a
something
year
you could
ago.
do about that.
Oh,
I don't know. I missed this. Chill Robot says he's got to run, so thanks for joining us.
Laters, taters.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Neil, back to you.
What have I got left? Oh, right. Okay. I'm going to do my little one that I've played a bit of today. Big game came out this week. I don't know if anyone noticed. So it's on Game Pass, this one, not the one that everyone came out today, that everyone's playing. It's that time of year when Xbox friend list is just full of people playing Call of Duty. But I haven't been playing Call of Duty.
Oh, has that just come out?
Came out today, I think.
Oh, okay.
I played the big game that came to Game Pass this week, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. The longest title of it in history of a video game, possibly.
Could be.
So it's Yakuza, old-fashioned Yakuza, with Kazuma Kiryu, or Kiryu Kazuma, wherever you say it. I can't remember which way you order it, because that's the thing. I don't remember. So, like a Dragon, what was it called? Yakuza Like a Dragon came out whenever it came out, 4 or 5 years ago now, I guess. And that was with Ichiban that you played a bit of. And that,
Sorry, how long ago?
I don't know, 3, 4 years ago, whatever. I don't know, 4, 5,
Oh, I
3,
thought you
4,
said
5 years.
No, it wasn't that long. It was only a couple of
It
years
was a
ago.
while ago. It's a while ago. Well, there's been a lot of Like a Dragon games all of a sudden. That's all I'm thinking. It must
How
have
long
been
have we
a
been
while.
doing this podcast for now?
I don't know. Well, I don't think you'd have played it when it came out.
It's got to be for nearly 5 years we've been doing this.
Is it really? Fucking hell.
4 years. 4 and a bit.
Well, it must be nearly 4. Oh, I don't fucking know. I can't even do the maths right now. Anyway, I don't want to do this one. That says final boss fight. So that was turn-based fighting. I haven't played that yet. I downloaded it a while ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to play that. And then
What, you never played Like a Dragon?
not
Oh,
that
okay.
one. Not that one.
Oh, I liked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Well, I loved the. I played a load of Yakuza 0, which was possibly the first one I actually played, which is a prequel
you went
to
through
the
your
old.
Yakuza run, didn't you?
Yeah, and I played Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2, which are the remakes of the first and the second games. So they've been kind of brought up to date a bit. But I've not played 3, 4, 5, and 6, which maybe is a big gap, you could say, in my Yakuza play history. Because Like a Dragon Gaiden, because they've changed the name, obviously. Because it's always been called Like a Dragon in Japan.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, came out this week, which is back with the original protagonist, Kiryu Kazuma. And the spoilers, if you haven't played Yakuza 6, I haven't played Yakuza 6. There's loads of stuff, obviously, that's happened. There's quite a lot of story involved in these games, generally. He fakes his own death, basically, to disappear. And this, so when you start the game, everyone's calling you Joryu in this game, like your new crew. And you're just like an enforcer for some, not a clan, what do you call it? Like a, fucking can't think of a word. A group of guys. Fucking a business. Like, nah, it's not really a gang. I can't remember what they call themselves in this thing. So you're basically like a hard man, but which is what you've always been. So, what happens at the beginning of Like a Dragon Guide in The Man Who Raised His Name is you spend a lot of time watching stuff happen, like the story stuff. I played for 2 and a bit hours, I think it says on my save. I reckon a good hour and a bit of that was just me watching cutscenes. And interspersed with me beating the living shit out of everybody that moves. So that's good. It's classic Yakuza, old school Yakuza. So the story, like I said, it's complicated because I've missed a load of the stuff that's happened in 3, 4, 5, and 6. I kind of knew that his storyline was supposed to have ended because that's why they brought in Ichiban in Like a Dragon. So they wanted to start a whole new storyline with
Ichiban.
a new character. Yeah. If you want to be like that, I guess.
I do.
So this is back to old school, like real time brawling. You've got a new agent fighting style, and you've got your classic Yakuza fighting style. You can switch between the two. And part of the agent fighting style, you have I don't know, like a fucking little laser whip thing, which is pretty cool. Like you can be in the middle of like punching the shit out of people, and then you whip your little laser whip out, and it will wrap around someone's tummy, give them a little bit of a stun, and then you can pull them towards you and just punch the fuck out.
Nice.
But yeah, so the fighting stuff is very cool still. There's like, I'm literally right at the beginning, so there's a whole load of new stuff you're going to learn throughout the game, I guess, as normal. Maybe even more fighting styles to find, more gadgets that you can use in your agent fighting style, and then the crazy Yakuza story, which is...
Is it just you all the time, or do you have team members?
I don't know about team members, but I'm right in saying that Ichiban might be in this game.
Oh yeah, pop up. He's got to do a cameo.
Well, I don't know about a cameo. It might be a big part of this game. I can't remember if there's this one or another one. But I know that might be there's another Like a Dragon game coming. Maybe. I can't remember. There's too confusing. There's too many games. But there's definitely one where Kiryu and Ichiban are going to be in it. That might not be this one. That might be another one. I can't remember now. But yeah. So early days, but I do still love that fighting. And it's yeah. So no, the funny thing is, right? You basically killed yourself off, right? And now no one is supposed to recognise you because you look exactly the same, but now you wear glasses. It's like Clark Kent and Superman.
See, I never played a lot of Yakuza, but I did play Like a Dragon, and you could tell that it was a series that had no problem ripping the piss out of itself.
Yeah. It's totally self-aware and hilarious at the same time. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. It's cool. It's great. Yeah,
I might have a look at that.
Yeah, so like story-wise, there's tons you look. You could go, well, fucking, I don't know how long the movie of the cutscenes of each game is. Probably a week at least of watching to catch up. But yeah, I quite like the craziness of the stories. It's sort of serious, but then there'll be like moments of humour and sort of touchingness and all that sort of stuff. It's good. It's good. Classic Yakuza, but now it's called Like a Dragon.
All right.
So yeah, but literally 2 and a bit hours in.
Is this official like Yakuza? Is this the official Yakuza?
Yeah. This is Ryo Gotoku developers, so the same developers. It's
legit,
like
mate.
Same actors, the same voice actors.
Right.
Yeah, and it's definitely had a nice makeover now. Like I don't know if it's in a new engine or what, but the graphics are definitely a lot better than they used to be back in the day. So like it was a PS3 game originally, PS2 game originally, first of all. So yeah, now it looks like a modern game ish. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Like a Dragon did though. So anyway.
Yeah, but that was like, I don't know how, I've not played Like a Dragon, so I want to still. But I don't know, I wasn't, I guess I need to be in the mood for that style of game. But yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, that's fair enough. All right, okay. Like a Dragon. Gaiden. The man who erased
Gaiden, the man who erased his name.
Gaiden. Dave?
What?
We're doing a podcast. We've got one more game.
F1 Manager 23.
What?
I'm still playing that. I'm only messing. Yeah.
You have talked about this, haven't you?
I've
Did you
talked
talk
Yeah,
about
about
yeah.
it.
this?
Yeah. I
He liked it.
every time I watch the F1, I'm like, oh, I love the F1. So I want to sort of immerse myself in it. Yeah, because like watching a practice, a sprint qualifier, a sprint race, and then a race, which is probably like it's probably 8 or 9 hours a weekend, isn't enough. So I'm like, I need to, I don't know, play some F1 and get my F1 fix on proper between all those different bits. It's a really good game. If you like F1 and you've got Game Pass, just download this and play it. Just
Is it on
it's
console as well?
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. It's really good. It's yeah. I cannot rate it high enough. I don't play my Motorsport Manager anymore. I just play this. When I need a fix of some F like Formula One management sim. Yeah, it is always being updated. There's lots of they are still keeping it current. They're actually changing the team. I noticed when the actual people are in the correct teams when they need to be. I.e.,
I
the
was just
swaps have
seeing
happened.
Tom Stallard in McLaren. I see. I was like, oh, I know that guy. He's actually a real person in the real team.
Yeah. So they do. I think they've it's they've got like everybody. I think from Formula 3 upwards, and like they have all the test drivers and the sim drivers and things like that modeled in here. It's very in depth. Yeah, play it if you've got any interest in Formula 1. Play it because it's a really good game.
See, I'm not going to play this one. I don't think. I'm too busy with other games. But I did see one of my old favourites has come to Game Pass this last couple of weeks. Football Manager 24 came. Apparently, this is the good one. I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
That's a console version,
Yeah.
specific console version.
bit
too,
dumbed
isn't
down
it?
the console version.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, but I'm on a subscriber to the Athletic.
Haven't you
and
got enough in your fantasy without having to play a
Yeah,
football
well,
manager?
thing is, I keep getting pop-ups, like little notifications from my Athletic app on my phone saying, "If Football Manager 24, little like undiscovered talents and all this sort of whatever, like great players to sign. Like this old player is really good if you're like starting at a lower club." And I'm like, don't fucking start tempting me. That was one game I remember I used to play till 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the mornings regularly.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, you've already
And
already
I'm
put
like,
away that crack pipe.
I better not do that again. It can't be. That's bad enough lately without
Yeah,
us
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that. But yeah, apparently this Football Manager's good this year. So
yeah. Yeah, a lot of
it was
people
all
love
right.
them.
It's always been good, but I think they've actually there's a bit of an improvement this year. So
Stay strong, brother.
yeah, I will. Don't worry. Fine.
I've seen quite a few things about Football Manager being a big upgrade from the last couple of years.
Yeah,
And I've had to stay away from it as well.
that's
Yeah.
on Game
Oh
Pass as
yeah.
well. It makes it a bit.
I just
Did
cheaper.
you play football managers in the past, Dave?
I have done. It's one of those that I've specifically not like. I have to not play because if I do, it's a killer.
Yeah.
I am, like I'm like a very addictive personality when it comes to these games, and yeah, like I've done all nighters because I'll just play this game. I'll just do this.
Just one more game. Just
Yeah,
one more
yeah,
game. Oh, I'm in the cup
yeah,
final.
yeah, yeah. Oh, just finish out the season. Just run it to automatically.
Oh
Oh, I might
yeah.
as well play the first game of the season just to see how I do. Yeah, it's yeah, it's deadly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it totally is.
All right,
Right. So
Neil.
I've just got one more game.
Just one more.
Yeah, I want to hear about this one.
Bit of a
Well,
random
actually, no,
one.
you got. Yes. Yeah.
So
Random for you? Do you mean?
I don't know. It's just like this particular game is a bit random because the
Random for
sequel just came
2015.
out.
Oh, is this the original?
This is the original, yeah. The sequel of
okay.
the Talos Principle 2 recently came out in the last week or two.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, that looks pretty cool. And I was like, I think I played the Talos Principle. And then I looked and it said I had played 0.1 hours. I was like, oh, I guess I didn't really play the Talos Principle. So I thought I might give that a go because I was, I don't know, in the mood. And I've played quite a lot of the Talos Principle 1 recently.
Playing on PC.
Playing on PC. You've played it, apparently. Dave's played it because he's left a message in one of the worlds I found. I was like, oh, there's Dave.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so it's like a first-person puzzle game where, well, you start off with relatively basic mechanics where I can't even remember how. I've got so many stuff now that I can't even remember how it started. I think the jammer is one of the first things you get, isn't it? Where you basically got this device. There's some like gates that you can't get through, and you use this jammer to open gates, or like sort of light gates. But also the jammer will stop floating dangerous orbs that shoot, like, will basically track you down and blow up and kill you. But when
Jammer.
you die,
I have to shout jammer because of the PUBG.
when you die, it just rewinds you
if I
to
don't
the
do that, Arnie will probably pick it up.
back at the beginning of each sort of puzzle room that you're in. Like, so there's obviously there's a bit of like there's a lot about old philosophers in the game. I don't know how far I am. I'm still on like there's a big elevator that you've got to get up to the top, I guess, to finish the game. I'm still on level. Oh, I can't even think. It's 1 or 2. 2 I've unlocked the stuff. No, I still haven't unlocked. I've got one piece left to unlock, like level 2. I think there's 7 levels.
Remind me on this. There are some things in the maze. Let's call them like puzzles or mazes or whatever, like sections. If I'm remembering correctly, there are some things that are quite aggressive in it, like turrets or something.
Yeah, there's some turrets that will shoot at you, which you need the jammer. You point the jammer at the turret and it will turn it off. Or there might be a switch, like you can see a wire, usually, and it runs around the wall, and there might be a switch on the wall. You're going to turn it off so it doesn't shoot at you. They're basically like fucking Gatling guns on, like, with laser sights. Like, see, if you go, it was like start beeping if you go in the zone, and if it goes beep 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 too quick, then you're fucking gonna die.
You're gonna get it right.
Yeah. So
I remember playing quite a bit of it. I think it's clever.
It gets fucking hard. Problem is, it gets really hard.
It was hard, and I was just and I thought the amount of, you know what, the problem I had with it was the difficulty ramps up, which is okay, but the ability to move around and solve the problem quick enough,
I'm running around, zipping around. There's so many rooms that you'll go into each. I don't know. There's multiple areas you need to go in. With a theme. I'm on the 3rd theme, faith, which is what I call medieval based. So you start off and I can't even remember. There's so much has happened in this game. I can't fucking remember. I've played so much of it. I can't remember what happens first and second. But basically, as you go through the game, you unlock more mechanics to solve more and more complicated puzzles. Like, there'll be laser beam type things where you need to bounce a laser beam off of deflectors to get to a certain point to unlock a door or whatever. And there's fans, which is one of the things I unlocked, where things like there's fans and it blows things up or along.
Yeah. I mean, it's all standard puzzle fare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I think it's a very good game. It's just got to. There's a couple of mechanics that I'm not a fan of, though. Like there's one where you basically have to. You record what you do as your actions, and then obviously you have to go and play your actions to then, while your recorded action is happening, you can then go and do something because then basically everything is doubled in the puzzle. So you've got, say, there's 2 boxes instead of 1 box that you might pick up that you might need to put somewhere, or 2 jammers instead of 1 jammer that you've got. But that's one I'm like, there's one puzzle which is one of the ones I need to unlock level 2, and you have to record yourself. And I look at it and I'm just going like, my fucking brain's broken. I can't work this one out at all. There was one other puzzle that I had to look up because it was like, there's literally nothing else I can do in this game, in this puzzle to solve it. And I looked at it and I read like about 3 lines in it. I was like, fucking hell, you dickhead. I didn't even think about doing that. And I was like, then I just solved it from there on. Basically, I could use the jammer on a fan. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about doing that for some reason. I've just been playing it for hours and it was just like, you got to the point where sometimes it's like way more simple than you think it is as well. And you're like, sitting there for ages going, oh, it's really complicated. I could do this, I do that, do that. And then you go, actually, then you just like look at it again and go, hang on, all I need to do is this really easy thing. And you solve the puzzle straight away. So there's absolutely tons and tons of puzzles to do. It feels like there's, I don't know how many there are. There's in the whole game.
Maybe
but I've
I
done
didn't give it
absolutely loads.
I just wonder whether I didn't give it as big a shake. I says I played it for close to a couple of hours, but
Yeah, that's
maybe
nothing.
I need
Absolutely nothing.
No,
2 hours.
Yeah.
You barely. You probably haven't even discovered some of the mechanics that I've got to in the 2 hours.
Yeah.
No way. Like you haven't got fans. There's the one that I'm nearly close. Like it looks like you can grab onto things. Is the little symbol? I'm like, I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that yet. But you have, because you have to like basically you find like to solve the puzzle you find like a little tetramino sort of shape, and then all of those tetraminos you'll use to unlock a door somewhere, and it will allow access to a new part of the map.
Tetramino.
Yes, that's what I said, didn't it?
Did you say tetramino?
Whatever, it's the same thing.
Did you play dominoes?
Whatever. They're 3D. That's why they're tetraminos. They're not 2Ds. Tetraminodrons. I don't fucking know. Anyway, it's a very good puzzle game. There's a couple of puzzles like it broke me, but
Oh, 13 hours played recently.
yeah, that's all in the last week. Yeah, that's all in the last week.
Oh, man, you squeezed in some gaming, haven't you?
Yeah, that's why some of the other games I haven't played as much this week. So I just like started playing this, and I was like, man, I just played it.
Have
for
you been
hours
off work
and
this
hours.
week or something?
No, but I've been up late. Been going to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning. After the thing is, like playing a game like that, it's very difficult to switch off because my brain's like properly like thinking. It's not a game to play when you're tired, for sure. Maybe get up and play it first thing in the morning when you've got a few hours and you're awake and alert, rather than late at night when you need to go to bed. Because then when you go to bed, you're like trying to think about that puzzle still.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, really enjoying it, but it has got occasionally very, very difficult because I'm a bit thick. But I've literally looked up the result to one puzzle. I've had to like literally look up the answer to. But most of them I've been like, oh yeah, like you realise something as you're going through it. Like, oh
yeah, it's one of those classic games where you step away from it. You like, I'm butting my head against it. Like, oh, I'll come back to it tomorrow, and you literally load it up. Oh, well, that's so easy. Why didn't I do it like that before?
I definitely did that once, but because I've played it in 2 major chunks, I haven't had many breaks away from it to think about it. But yeah, there's one, like I say, there's one I'm on at the minute, and it's the time like I just look at it and go, I don't really know how to fucking do this at all. Like I can record myself, I could get to this point, but then I can't get back to the point where I need to record myself.
Why are you playing
again.
this? Sorry, I just realised. Why are you playing this and you're not playing Cocoon?
I don't know. Because I was like, this is a game I've obviously bought at some point, and I haven't fucking played it. So it's like, fuck it, I'll pay for this. I'm fucking playing it.
You need to get on Cocoon, man, before the year end.
Yeah, I do, but it's going to be easy after this. I've waited for the year end. Hey,
for game of the year.
Oh, okay. Right. Maybe this is Neil's game of the year.
No, I reckon I've got my game of the year already.
Neil's game of the year is the Rally. Is it the Rally? You can't tell us anyway. No spoilers.
It's not Rally.
It's not the Rally, is it? I haven't really think about it at all. All I can remember is the last couple of things you talked about.
You literally have a fairly short-term memory.
I am literally a fucking goldfish these days. All right. Are we done?
So yeah, I might buy because Talos Principle 2. I can because I've got the first one. I can buy a bundle with both games in for 10% off. But obviously, I don't pay for the one I've already got. So it's like fucking 20 quid or something for the new one. But yeah, it's a lot of. There's obviously a bit of like stuff
He's not
going
done,
on,
is he?
philosophy and all that. You know, you got to think about what it means to be. There's like the stuff typing on computer terminals, and you're talking to people in the computer terminals, and it's good. It's really good.
It is a really good game. Yeah,
Makes you think a
really
bit,
enjoyed
but maybe a bit too much. But
Yeah.
like, what does it mean to be? What is a person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
quite
What is a
philosoph-
man
What
Yeah.
but a miserable pile of secrets?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is a god person in the game as well, but obviously, like you run around, you're basically like an android or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff about what happened before that you're gradually uncovering when there were real people around. It's quite actually. It's what it is when I was playing it, there was a lot of stuff like they're talking about AIs and stuff, and like I say, what it means to be a person and all that sort of stuff. And given everything, how much AI has advanced, it's actually a bit spooky playing this now. Like it's like fucking hell. This is actually a bit like prescient almost about stuff that's going on now with AIs.
Yeah,
and things.
you've put 13 hours into it. It's more than not what I've put in, but yeah,
I may have shut my
it-
eyes for an hour at a time. Gone. Just like I'm fucking really struggling here, and then like
in a deep thought about a specific.
But I haven't slept through most of this. Like, I definitely did. Like, I definitely woke up with Lies of P on once. I was like, ah, bollocks. That's like 4 hours of Lies of P that I haven't actually played. But yeah, I do like Talos Principle a lot. The puzzles are very clever, and there is a bit, like I say, there's a start. It seems relevant to what's going on now, and which is quite funny considering it's probably about 8 years old.
Yeah, I played it in 2015.
Yeah, it was pretty popular when it came out.
Yeah.
Like an indie darling, wasn't it?
I don't know. It doesn't look
I
amazing.
think so.
But yeah, it's like it runs well. Apart from the sound, occasionally goes a bit weird. But,
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
that's all my games.
I think
right.
we've gone over quite a lot this week.
Yep, we put in a good session. All right. Okay. Well, look, then let's call this the show. Dave, do you want to do your bit?
I didn't get to the end of last week. How did you manage last week?
Oh, we really fucking messed it up, Dave.
Yeah.
I didn't have it written down like you do, so I had to try and do it from memory, and my memory wasn't very good. I had quite a lot to drink last week. It might be it's difficult to believe, but I think the dodgy drink that I made before the show, shortly before the show, really kicked in towards the end, and I was fucked.
Have like a snake biting.
Oh yeah, that was the rum and.
It wasn't rum.
Shit,
it was Malibu, which is kind of rum, I guess. Malibu, vodka, and triple sec. Yeah, I think that really fucking kicked in.
And the triple threat.
And all the beers.
Right, I will sign us off. I'll say thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions and get involved, please contact us either on Twitter or X at Seal Podcast. Email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on Discord server. A link is pinned on Twitter or X. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which you should upload and stream to. We're available from Twitch at twitch.tv/Seal Podcast. Neil, do you want to do a shout out to chat?
We've had Chill Robots and Lord Mintsafe in the chat this evening. Thank you for joining, fellas.
Cool. Thank you for joining and saying hello. And yeah, it's been sorry I couldn't make it last week. You wouldn't have wanted me on. And I'm glad to be back. And episode 200.
Yes.
Yeah. Get in touch if you fancy coming on to chat shit for 5-10 minutes, maybe more. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll do some.
We could break the Twitch.
You can come and sit in my chair.
Oh, Tim Reaper's just popped in chat to say good night, guys. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, perfect timing, Tim. Tim's here. Let's go.
Oh no, not Tim.
Rude.
Oh, yeah.
Catch you later.
See you soon.
Thanks, guys.